I'm in the ancient town of Congleton, set in the Cheshire countryside. Since the Middle Ages, this market town has been renowned as a producer of lace and leather goods. But to make them, Congleton needed one very important thing: water. And it's the very reason this impressive structure was built. Constructed in 1881, this Victorian water tower, known as the Forge Lane Water Tower, was at the time state-of-the-art engineering, delivering clean, safe and fresh water to the town. But since larger reservoirs have been built, the tower has played a minor role. Today, 30-year-old architect Andy Critchlow and his partner Anna Ferguson, who works in IT, have a vision to restore this abandoned Victorian monument into their dream home.
We did come and see it once in the snow. We hopped over the fence and just came up and have a look, and it is a really lovely building.
Went straight to the auction, still no real idea whether we were going to buy it, and then probably about half an hour later walked out, phoned Anna and said, we've just bought a water tower.
Yeah, I was taken aback, just concerned about how he was going to fit this all in, whether it was going to actually break him. And the realisation that we were selling our house and moving in with Andy's parents.
Because I've got this obstacle in front of me, I'll give like 100% to it until it's done. Pretty much every day coming from work, we see it on the way into Congleton and just dream of having a G&T on the deck. To me, you know, it's as special as a palace.
Andy and Anna bought this building along with 1 acre of land for £100,000 at auction. After selling their old house, they have a budget of £200,000 to transform this empty shell. On their restoration journey, I'm going to help, advise and encourage them to realise their ambitions.
So I'm on my way to see what is supposed to be the most beautiful Victorian water tower.
The Victorians always gave utilitarian structures like this a sense of grandeur as well as detail. Often our great industrial heritage is neglected, as these buildings seem unsuitable to turn into homes. As an architect, I love challenges like this.
Morning.
Hello.
Morning, George.
How are you?
Yeah, very good. You?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How are you? Andy, yeah?
Yeah, I'm Andy.
You all right? How are you?
Nice
Nice to meet you. How's things?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Nice, good, yeah.
Good, very good, very good.
You've got yourself an incredible building. Why on earth did you buy this?
Why on earth don't everybody? That's what I've got to say.
And what's amazing is that you've got this next to it. Is this yours as well?
Unfortunately not. That's the ugly twin, if you like. As this one was decommissioned, they went and built that. Clearly a different period in architectural styles.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is more like the kind of great-granddad, and that's the great-grandson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
No.
No.
Should we go inside and have a look?
This Grade 2 listed building is an iconic testament to Victorian engineering. At 50 feet high, 39 feet in diameter, it comes with a footprint of around 1,200 square feet.
Just wait for your eyes to adjust into the light.
Oh, wow.
This
God,
is
the acoustics are amazing.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at
And
that.
believe it or not, this has taken us 9 months to get it to this state.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been involved in lots of tower designs before, and if you're looking at diameters of 4 or 5 metres, 6 metres, it's very tight.
It's really restrictive.
Yeah. There's more staircase than usable floor plate, to be honest, but this is absolutely incredible. It's massive.
Yeah, the height is the real key. But unfortunately, because it's listed, we're restricted by the openings, so we're going to have like 4.5 metres floor to floors, whereas domestic's more like 2.3, 2.4 metres.
Yeah, that windowsill's not your standard height, is it?
No.
There's something that's just so brutal about this building. Do you know what I mean? It's quite a kind of sublime space.
Yeah.
It's
really
tough,
gritty.
strong,
It's really gritty for me.
Yeah.
It's gritty. That's what I love about it.
To be able to look all the way to the top of the building like this,
Yeah.
see those amazing steels above, and actually get a great sense of the width of the space.
Yeah.
It's absolutely...
At this moment in time, just being an empty volume, it's really exciting. It's great. A blank canvas.
Andy's innovative design is to turn the tower into a home split into 4 levels. The entrance level is for storage, as they won't have an attic. The raised ground floor level will have 2 bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms, plus a laundry room. The first floor will be the living room with an open-plan kitchen dining area. The second floor will have a further 2 bedrooms, plus a master bedroom with an ensuite. A spiral staircase will lead up to a new rooftop glass extension with its own roof terrace. With the new garage alongside the tower, the overall design will be an impressive 6,000 square feet, set in an acre of land. Because Andy and Anna have thrown everything into this project, they have nowhere to live, so they've moved in with Andy's parents.
I would have not taken anything on if we hadn't got the luxury of something like this. I wouldn't have bought a static caravan and put it on site, because we kind of romantically said, oh, we could live in a caravan, but it would be absolute hell. I've got no doubt about it, and just wouldn't entertain it. So, you know, we're about 5-6 miles away, it's about 15 minutes, absolutely ideal. You know, at the end of a day, when you're absolutely knackered, you can come home, it's warm, you can have some of mum's cooking if that's what you really want, and you can get a shower and go to bed, so it's ideal.
The tower already had planning permission for conversion when they bought it, but being an architect, Andy has improved the design. But cylindrical buildings have some unique design opportunities, and I feel I can offer a different view in some areas he might have overlooked.
The level that worries me, to be honest, mate, is just the first floor level.
Yep.
It really is your kind of prime space. You know, when you think you're going to have people around, yes, they'll want to go to the observation deck, but they want to be, you know, in your living room and your dining room and your kitchen, coming around for a drink. And I'm just thinking on key areas like your living, dining room, kitchen. If the wall stopped short and there was a piece of glass there forming the junction between that new bit of stud partitioning and the old structure, means you're going to be looking through it and beyond it and having a greater sense of space.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea that kind of the new and the old kind of, you get the sense of the circle, and it passes past your viewpoint, so it takes you around the building. I like that idea.
I just think this is a building where the detail is going to make all the difference.
You know, it's good to get a second opinion here, because the last thing we want to do is miss the opportunity.
Yeah,
You know, it's a fantastic opportunity, and we want to keep the integrity and make the most of everything we've got.
Apart from all that, it's fine.
Yeah, good. So I'll give myself maybe a B+.
No. You know, I'd even go as far as saying an A-.
Thank you very much. Hopefully I don't come over too protective about it, and genuinely with the comments that George has made, I think they're all positive.
Yeah. You did really well today, because you normally don't deal well with the criticism.
Yeah, for everything I've just said there, I'm quite difficult with criticism, but, you know, when they're good comments, they're fair, you've got to take them on board.
This is without a doubt one of the most fascinating industrial buildings I've ever come across. And I'm fascinated by Andy as well, to be honest. He's kind of implied that he's not that close to this build, that he's not going to get drawn into that issue of the architect being obsessed with his own home. But I don't believe him for a single second. This guy has given everything for the last 9 months just to get the building in this state, and he's just at the very beginning, both him and Anna, of a very long and a very tough journey.
In 2009, Andy Critchlow and Anna Ferguson bought this derelict 19th century water tower in Congleton, Cheshire at auction for £100,000. They want to convert it into their dream home.
I am absolutely buzzing about this building. It's just incredible. I don't think I've seen an industrial building of this scale and size in such good quality. It's just phenomenal. I mean, the diameter of the tower itself is so unique. It's so rare to get your hands on a building of this style and of this build. I mean, this huge central column that you've got, soaring up to the top, supporting all of those steels that would have supported the old water tank. It's just an incredible structural feat. For this to have any opportunity of being turned into a home is just, it's just an architect's dream.
After 9 months' hard slog of hacking and cutting away the building of unwanted scrap iron, they have one more piece to go before they can start the construction.
So this building's 130 years old, and there's been 9 months of super hard work done by Andy and all the guys to get all the cast iron out. And this is the very last bit. That was easier than I thought.
Oh, I've been...
Big day.
Yeah, the last piece gone.
With the tower encased in scaffolding, today is the start of a major operation to remove the roof. But with winter closing in, there's not a moment to lose.
This is a big kind of momentous occasion and piece in the whole build. The roof is literally, it's a Chinaman's hat, is how I've always referred to it. What they're going to do is they're going to cut some holes in the centre today, strap that up to the crane and then lift it off in one so it looked like a flying saucer's appeared in Congleton.
The roof has to come off because Andy has to cut out 6 huge iron beams that supported the old water tank. They're so big and dangerous, they've got to come out through the roof. Andy and his dad Cliff watch nervously.
I'm looking forward to it come off in one piece perfectly and then go back on and then come off and go back on for the next 2 weeks.
They've taken the tension on the chains at the moment, so it's just a case of easiness, gentle as they can to clear the bolts.
It's bigger than you think, isn't it? Another tick in the box. The next task is each of these long beams will come out in 2 sections. They'll then be lifted out of the roof and straight into a skip, ready to go for scrap. It does look like a bit of an alien object in the landscape now. It's only going to be landed there for a few weeks. It will be going back on and off every day to protect it from the elements for the next couple of weeks. We're all really happy with how today's gone, but we can't forget that we've just removed the roof off a building at the start of winter, and there's lots of work ahead.
Andy and Anna's tower is a really unusual project and they know very little about its history, so I'm determined to help them as much as possible and to find out why it was built in the first place. By the early 1800s, Congleton's population had reached nearly 4,000, and everyone in the town was very much used to having drinking water from the established wells and from the river, but very little thought had been given to the disposal of human waste and sewage. But Congleton's problems were small beer compared to the rest of the country. As the Industrial Revolution grew, a vast number of workers were lured into already overcrowded cities. More and more people were being crammed into tenement buildings and slums. As their numbers increased, so did the sewage problem, and with that problem came a frightening amount of sickness and disease. But people just accepted it. In the winter you got colds, and in the summer you got something called English cholera. But because very few people died of it, no one really cared.
However, in October 1831, the Sunderland docks were about to be enveloped by one of the most terrifying pandemics from overseas. Asiatic cholera that swept in from the east. I'm meeting local historian Stuart Miller.
So Stuart, why have I had to come to my hometown of Sunderland to find out about cholera?
Well, because Sunderland was the first place in England to have an attack of this new devastating disease, which had spread all the way from northern India, across Asia, through Russia, and then eventually reached the Baltic. And in the Baltic were vessels waiting to come back to Sunderland. Sunderland was a cholera outbreak waiting to happen. In the 1830s, it was packed, overflowing, filthy, devastated by the effects of crowding.
This densely overcrowded town was the perfect breeding ground for the new strain of cholera brought into the docks by sailors.
So Stuart, what would the sailors have seen when they arrived in the port of Sunderland back then?
Well, their first vision, of course, would have been a crowded river, because the berthing plans suggest that the ships were berthing maybe sometimes 7 or 8 abreast.
How would it be transferred from one person to the next? I mean, we know with the plague it was rats, but how did it happen with this form of cholera?
Well, to put it bluntly, I suppose it's what you would call shitty hands. That's the problem. When you think about people living in packed accommodation here, with very poor sanitary facilities, it was almost impossible to keep yourself clean under normal conditions. And when you've got someone who has cholera already living in close proximity to you, then it's going to be almost impossible to keep yourself apart from this.
And what was it like for someone who actually caught this vicious, deadly cholera.
Your body would darken. Eventually, I think that you would die of, I suppose, what you would call a seizure or a stroke. Eventually, the body would just collapse. There's a lovely picture of a girl called Isabella Hazard, who's known as the Blue Girl, and she was one of the very early victims of cholera. And she's called the Blue Girl because there's a drawing of her in the Lancet Medical Journal, and her face is very darkened because that was one of the effects of the cholera, the Blue Girl.
Asiatic cholera spread like wildfire, claiming 130,000 lives in Britain by the end of the 19th century. This forced the government to sit up and rethink their approach to sanitation in the nation's filthy cities. Back in Congleton, to temporarily protect the building from bad weather, bizarrely the old roof needs to be lifted on and off daily. While Andy's at his day job, Dad Cliff is overseeing the project. Andy returns at night to carry on the work. It's a major stress, but Dad thinks he can handle it.
He's always been the same, even as a schoolboy. It's never been any different. He's one of those men that I think actually if he's got 10 minutes to spare, he'll be bored. He needs to be occupied all the time. And, well, he's got one now that occupies him.
But today, Andy is behind schedule. It's getting late and he's got to prepare the walls of the tower for the new steel beams being fitted in the morning. It's a long and laborious process, and tempers are beginning to fray between father and son.
There's a shitload of walk past on every floor. I don't care. Oh, for sake. Ow, for sake, they proper bastard blocks.
Finally, Andy and his dad have finished, and these restoration warriors can go home in peace. Although it's been a long and frustrating day, another critical deadline has been met. But soon, there's another setback. It appears that kids have broken into the site and vandalised the crane.
They wrapped all the cable around the spill so I had to get the fitter out to check it out. At the moment, his computer inside his cab is registering 50 odd metres out.
This vandalism is going to cost Andy time and money he can ill afford. To hire the crane costs £450 a day. Add to that the estimated cost of £1,000 for repairs. Annoyingly, this was to be the last day the crane was needed on site. Without it, the roof can't go back on. In one of the worst snowfalls for years, the interior of Andy's tower is now left unprotected. As the crane is taken away to be repaired, all that can be done is for Andy and his 62-year-old father to haul ropes and canvas to the top of the tower to try and erect a temporary cover.
Come on, ropes.
Just a few days before Christmas, Andy and Anna's future home is snowed in.
It is mindless that people don't appreciate, you know, a stone throw through a window, just what havoc it can cause.
In December 2009, Andy Critchlow and Anna Ferguson bought this derelict 19th century water tower in Congleton, Cheshire for £100,000 at auction. With the remaining £200,000 from the sale of their previous house, they hope to turn this Victorian edifice into their dream home. Despite the severe weather and vandalism on site, the critical job of removing the old iron girders and replacing them with new steel ones is on track.
It's an unbelievably exciting day. This is where all the steels are turning up, that we're dropping in through this massive crane right through the top of the old roof. So all that steelwork will support the new timber floors that will be installed. But it's really a case of adapting the building to make that steelwork fit.
Okay, just take the weight off, Brian.
When you think of most restoration projects, it's kind of tinkering, you know, brushing away the flecks of paint and being very gentle with the old building because you don't want to damage it or cause any disruption. But not this one. This building is so tough and so hard. What I love about it, it's like a celebration of this area's hardcore, brutal industrialism.
When I first met Andy and Anna, I suggested a change to their kitchen design, which included a glass panel that could be used on all floors.
If the wall stopped short and there was a piece of glass there forming the junction between that new bit of stud partitioning and the old structure, it means you're going to be looking through it and beyond it and having a greater sense of space.
I'm interested to see if he took my ideas on board.
Immediately, I went back to the plans and the drawings and started to incorporate them. And in fact, we're standing in perfect position for the glass slot idea.
Yeah, so the vertical glass, so that the new wall, when it comes to the curved wall, there's a divide.
You can see through and you can see the space.
Yeah.
And I think the head of this stair here would be one of those partition walls. I think
perfect.
It'd be perfect here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll go ahead with that. And certainly it's built into the schedule of works now. If we can't afford it in the end, it gets boarded over.
Glass goes in.
Absolutely.
If you can't afford it, it doesn't.
That's
a good way of doing it. Yeah. That's perfect. You've made provision for it.
Made provision for all the suggestions, yes.
With the tower now beginning to take shape and look like a home, I've decided to discover more about its history. Now, despite the outbreak of cholera and the death of over 130,000 people, very little was actually done to clean up Britain. Sanitary conditions in places like Congleton still remained largely medieval. Now, in 1839 in the UK, for every one person that died of either old age or violence, 8 people died of disease. But there were a few Victorian reformers who at last managed to make the connection between diseases like cholera and water. Edwin Chadwick managed to persuade Parliament that better hygiene would not only prevent disease, but also lead to a healthier workforce.
Influenced by this argument, in 1848, an Act was passed by Parliament. I'm going deep into the archives of the Palace of Westminster to discover more.
What's incredible about this room is you've got every single act ever created from 1497, all beautifully handwritten, like this one, on sheepskin. As soon as you open the act, the first words that you see, in Norman French at the very top, is Le Reine de Vaux, which basically translates as the Queen wishes it. So it's an act passed for the provision of improving the sanitary of towers and the populous places in England and Wales. And it's expected that the supply of water to all towers and places improve the quality of sewage, drainage, re-cleansing and paving. I'm in this room with this piece of history, the first Public Health Act that defines the improved sanitary conditions of England and Wales.
In the early 1850s, there was another cholera outbreak. In 1858, with the excrement of nearly 2.5 million Londoners being emptied from cesspits directly into the Thames, it was getting clogged up, and the stench was unbearable. Known as the Great Stink, Parliament's windows were covered in drapes soaked in chloride and lime to keep the fumes out. The government even considered leaving the capital. Things had to change, and it took a fantastic feat of Victorian engineering to come up with the solution that still exists today: the London sewers.
With 10,000 people dying from the Great Stink of London and from the cholera epidemic, something desperately had to be done. London's first chief engineer, Joseph Balzet, came up with a fantastic underground sewage system for the city. It stretches for over 1,000 miles and had a radical impact on all the inhabitants of London. What was fantastic is that London no longer was a public sewer. This would have incredible ramifications that would be felt in every single town and city across the UK, including Congleton. In 1875, a new Public Health Act was drawn up, and this time it had teeth. So we go from all of these beautifully handwritten acts to all of these, which were created from 1850, where they were all printed. And in here, we've got an incredibly important document. Privies and water closets. I mean, you cannot get a more important thing when it comes to public sanitation than the everyday household loo. And it says here, it shall not be lawful newly to erect any house or to build any house pulled down or below the ground floor without a sufficient water closet or earth closet, or privy and an ash pit, furnished with proper doors and coverings, and rightly so, I think. Any person who causes any house to be erected or rebuilt in contravention of this enactment shall be liable to a penalty not exceeding £20. If you like, this forced local authorities to up their game. They had to have health inspectors, medical inspectors, and they were pushed and pushed to provide the very best of sanitation, hygiene, sewage systems, and water. There's no doubt about it, this document is very much the Magna Carta of sanitary legislation. Only 6 years after this act was put in place, the Congleton Water Tower was built. If it wasn't for the act, the building would never have existed.
Designed by engineer William Blackshaw at a cost of £13,000, construction started on the tower in 1881. And 130 years later, the tower is being brought back to life again.
So the last time I was here, it was about 3 foot of snow and pretty miserable conditions on site for everybody. But today, beautiful blue sky, fantastic spring day, and we've got the boys' toys out. The crane's back. So how's it all looking?
We're pretty much cleaned out, ready for the fit-out to start as soon as we're wind and watertight. Anna's a bit nervous of it every time she comes up and down.
Why?
Got a slight fear of open staircases.
Fears are there to be conquered.
My fear, apparently.
Yeah, fears are there to be conquered.
This space is absolutely brilliant.
This is the final look down.
Is one hell of a drop. That is unbelievable. You can't get more dramatic than that. It was worth sacrificing the floor area for, wasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Really looking forward to this. Is it as good as I imagined?
It's a bit misty today because of the sun.
Come on, though, it's bloody brilliant. Bloody hell. Here it is. First bit of glass. Look at that. I find it an absolute pleasure and a privilege to see such a historic piece of architecture being beautifully transformed into something fresh, new, ecological, innovative. Yeah, you can't get more environmental than recycling an old building.
In the restoration of this tower, Andy's energy and single-mindedness has been the driving factor. It can appear at times that this passion excludes everyone else, even Anna.
I'm trying to get involved as much as possible.
Is it coming together the way you imagined it would be?
I don't really know what I imagined, because it was really Andy's vision.
You're looking forward to living in it?
I can't quite picture that yet. It doesn't really feel like a home yet.
I always know from him it's about the kind of bigger vision. You know, the drama of the staircase and the practical, functional side of getting this building together. Because in some respects, he's not just architect, but he's project manager, isn't he?
Yeah, he's everything, yeah.
So...
Oh, he's involved in every little detail.
Everything?
Everything. All consuming, everything. Every single tiny detail.
Paint colours,
yeah.
the lot.
Yeah.
He seems really tough and he seems really driven, but he also seems really stubborn.
Not hard to please. He wants things done his way. That's what he keeps telling me. So.
But it seems to me like he's so controlled and driven that anything less than perfect would be a sign of weakness.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Now that the engineering side of converting this industrial building is complete, I think it's time for Anna to get involved in the interior design and fit out.
That's the girly bit, yeah, that's where I come in.
Oh, is it you doing that? That's good.
Are you going to let me?
Yeah, but give me a rest. Get on with it.
Right. We can stop being so control freak.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I think it's going to be a nice family home, hopefully. It's definitely big enough.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere we can settle down.
So far, this building project's going incredibly well, and that's down to one person, Andy. He's so well organised and driven, it's exactly what this restoration project needs. But as it gets to the end of the project and the detail of kitchens, bathrooms, fixtures and fittings, I think Andy might struggle. To make this project a success, I think he needs to bring Anna into the fold.
In December 2009, Andy Critchlow and Anna Ferguson bought this derelict 19th century water tower in Congleton, Cheshire for £100,000. Despite the terrible weather and damage caused by vandals, the major heavy work is completed. It's time for the interior fit-out.
We're on with partitions. This is the first floor and this is pretty much done now, and then the guys are working up the different levels.
But Andy is a man who is driven to the exclusion of almost everyone around him, and that sometimes includes Anna.
It just seems a little bit crazy going from like a 4-bed detached house to a water tower.
To give Anna some inspiration, I'm taking her to a completed tower restoration.
Here,
Oh, wow.
super giant size water tower. I think it's quite good to see somewhere like this where you've got so many rooms split on so many different levels,
Right.
how they're organised and all the
Yeah.
functional, practical things that you've got to think about to make it work.
Yeah, that Andy won't think about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Come on in. What's quite interesting, from a very domestic point of view,
Right.
is they've got this full-on vacuum air conditioning system. But if you want to vacuum the entire property,
Yeah.
you can just plug in at any point in the house, so you don't have to lump a big hoover everywhere to hoover every floor. You just plug in a tube and it automatically kicks in, hoover all up, and then the dust comes all the way down to the ground floor.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's good.
Yeah.
I was already thinking about where I'm going to keep the Hoover and then lugging it up and downstairs.
So on this level,
Right.
kitchen.
Ooh.
The other thing is intercom system,
Oh, right.
because obviously if they're on top floor and someone's down here, pick that up, push the button, have a chat with someone on the floor. Have you got that?
Don't think we're going for that. I think we're just going for the old-fashioned shouting up and down.
Andy's quite good at that.
Yeah, he's very good at shouting.
What they've done quite cleverly in this place, because the staircase is off to one side, the remaining
Oh, so you've
spaces
got
on
those
each
little
side
spaces,
is
yeah.
all storage. This is the absolute right time now, if Andy hasn't done it already, is to think about integrated storage. You're looking at me as if to say he hasn't really done that. See, what architects do, right? All architects, and I'm as bad as the next one, they get super excited about, look at the staircase, and look at the light, and look at the space, and look how beautiful it is. And I'm slightly worried that Andy will get so absorbed in that side of the building project management, he's going to think about the practical, simple, but efficient things that you need to do right for it to work. Things like laundry. You don't want to be up and down the stairs all the time with laundry baskets from bedrooms down to utility spaces. So you could even think about putting in a laundry chute, which I bet he's forgotten about.
Oh, right.
Yep. You can literally just lift up a hatch on each level or on bedroom level. You could just chuck it all
I
down.
could just chuck it down the
Yeah.
stairs.
Yeah, yeah. When you're upstairs and he shouts at you from the ground floor, you can just chuck dirty laundry at him.
Yeah.
He's being too much of an architect. He's probably forgotten about all these very sensible things that you should take into account in a family home. You know, the architecture of making the spaces look beautiful, I think he's nailed that.
Yeah.
It's about the practical
How we
side.
actually use the room, so those kind of things are definitely important. Like taking shopping up and down, sorting out the laundry, things like that, hoovering, the cleaning, all those things that I'll be doing.
If Andy's promised that you're going to be in that house for the next 10 years,
He has.
Well,
Well,
think-
promised to me.
yeah, well, things are going to change, aren't they?
Definitely a family home. It's big enough. It's got enough rooms for kids. Yeah, it's in my mind. It's something I'm thinking about. Hopefully, Andy's on the same wavelength. I think Andy's probably thinking it more of a bachelor pad.
You can't think of it like a bachelor pad. It's got to be a proper
No, we have
family
to
home.
think about the future now, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what Andy and Anna's tower is now close to becoming. Ironically, it was Congleton's population increase and demand for homes in the mid-19th century that created the need for our tower in the first place.
My journey into the story of this tower has taken me from the Sunderland cholera epidemic to the Great Stink of London and the Parliamentary Archives. Without these extraordinary Victorian public health acts, which would help to protect Congleton's population of nearly 11,000, our tower would never have been built in 1881. The tower worked on the most simple principle you could ever possibly imagine. It would collect nearly 50,000 gallons of water from down in the town, from the existing wells and streams and rivers, and that would be pumped all the way uphill to the higher ground, up to its 50,000 gallon tank. And then that water would come all the way back down again under great pressure to supply the town and the population, all the houses. This water tower was in effect one big giant toilet system. The problem was, this building only really had a lifespan of around 50 years. A new reservoir was built, a new tower was built, and unfortunately, our beautiful Victorian tower became redundant.
What I've always liked about this restoration project is its daunting scale and ambition. It's taken someone with determination like Andy to face this enormous challenge of converting it into a home. Sadly, many of our great old industrial buildings are left abandoned and unloved because of their sheer size, or they are simply unsuitable for residential conversion. But after only a few years of hard graft and dedication, Andy and Anna have finally finished this restoration, and I'm dying to see it.
Morning!
Nice to see you.
How are you? You alright?
How are you?
Are you all done and finished?
Just about.
All done?
Welcome back.
Well done, mate. Yeah, really good. This is unbelievable. That is a great space. What a beautiful space. It just works really well, doesn't it? The modern white floors being slotted in against the curved old brickwork, all cleaned up.
Old, crashed, new.
I love it. Should we go up and have a look?
Yeah, of course. Go on, Anna, lead the way.
It's jaw-dropping to think that when I first came here a year ago, this was just an empty shell. Today, as we go up the stairs, I'm struck by the fact that when you convert a round tall building, it's always an architectural struggle not to lose too much of the space with the new staircase. So I'm really intrigued to see how Andy has made use of the space on the first floor for the spare bedrooms.
The litmus test of whether a building's finished is whether the spare room's done, I think, for me.
Spare room number 1. Number 2 looks just the same on the other side.
Is it? Done?
Absolutely.
It looks beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Nice and simple.
Yeah, that's
Not over the top at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Beautifully done. I think the shape of the rooms is just spot on because you've got all of this perfectly planned bedroom, and then tucked in here, which is your kind of big service core, you've got all the bathrooms and services.
I'm still surprised there's no lift.
I see what you mean about the stairs now. Just keep your fitter and fitter.
As we climb to the second floor, I love how the exposed brickwork meets the clean lines of the steel staircase and the new white walls.
Into the living room.
Amazing. This is great.
This is a nice space.
Oh, it's a fantastic room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally goes on and on
Yeah,
and on
just-
and
Yeah,
on
that's
and
it.
on
And just
around the corner.
follow the curve and it's all the way around.
It actually works really well, doesn't it? Because you've got little work area over there,
Yeah.
desk, computer right next to the window, seating area here, dining round there. Just in this area alone,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows, giving glimpses in all of those 6 different directions. This is lovely. Really, really nice. It just flows
Flows into the dining room.
That's it.
beautifully with, you come in and you've got entrance area, seating area, dining table, and keep going round the curve, and you've got this.
I feel this kitchen really works, and I love the way that Anna has put all the work surfaces along the curved wall as it embraces the space and celebrates the windows of the building.
I mean, that's not a bad place to wash dishes, is it, really?
Fantastic.
You know, standing there, washing a dish, looking out to that view.
Can't complain at that.
Well, if you're going to wash dishes, then you might as well do it in a beautiful place in the house.
Surprisingly, as we climbed to the 3rd floor, I noticed Anna didn't go for some of the practical things I thought they'd need, which I showed her at the completed tower we visited. So there's no intercom, fancy vacuuming system, or even a dumbwaiter.
Come on in.
Master bedroom.
Yes.
It's great.
It's our space.
Same shape as the other rooms downstairs.
Absolutely.
All logical, all
Absolutely,
very simple, all
yeah.
makes sense.
Bathroom's in the same place, drainage works fine, you know it.
But that repetition kind of just makes sense. It's logical. It keeps the cost down.
With the staircase taken out a third of the floor plan, Andy's been left with similar spaces on each floor. And I love the way he's been forced to work with the cylindrical fabric of the building. What was once just a conical roof is now a fantastic space. That extraordinary panoramic vista can be enjoyed for the first time.
The bit that I've been waiting for.
Oh, well, I hope it's not a disappointment.
I've been waiting for I even don't even want to look yet to just reveal it all. I'm that excited by it. That is unbelievable.
Looks good, doesn't it? It does look good.
As an architect, for me, this is what true restoration is about. Adding 21st century materials which respect and celebrate the old.
That is just magical. You can see for miles. I mean, that is to just die for. And the glass floor.
Yeah, your glass floor.
You did it!
Jump up and down.
It's amazing! See, my kids would just be lying on that all the time going, look. I'm glad you did it. It stops this level from being like a kind of self-contained unit on the top.
Completely isolated.
It's got that visual link
yeah,
downstairs,
absolutely.
which makes the space even more special, really. Unusual choice of flooring, I have to say. I'm surprised by that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Not my choice.
What, the boss?
Yeah.
It's my choice.
Anna chose this. This is Anna's beach, as you've referred to it a couple of times.
Well, I'm from Devon.
Can we step outside? What's the best door to get out of?
Entirely up to you. Let's go for this one.
It's amazing. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very fantastic.
It's just
Views nothing to do with us, but it's fantastic.
amazing. It's brilliant. When this building was built, with its industrial use, purely functional really, just how do we provide water for all the people in this area? Healthy drinking water for people in this area. And now it's a house.
I was always struck by the beauty of this Victorian structure, the extraordinary interior space and the brutality of the building. As custodians of the tower, I want Andy and Anna to remember that industrial heritage and one day pass it on to future generations.
It's a little present for you, the history of the building. Done a huge amount of research about the background to this and why it was built and who built it. And it's all here for you. A little memento for you to have down next to the front door.
Awesome.
William Blackshaw, the surveyor. And then all about cholera, the disease that really changed everything. And then the crisis in the UK at Sunderland. The lid coming off, big day that.
That's an awesome shot.
Yeah, it's a great
I've
shot.
not seen that before.
Congratulations.
That's fantastic. Cheers, George.
Absolutely fantastic.
Really appreciate
You've
it.
done
Thank
an
you.
amazing job.
He's done it.
There you go.
Happy days. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Congratulations. It seems kind of appropriate to be drinking something liquid at the top of a water tower, doesn't it? I'm absolutely staggered by Andy's determination on this project. He's been ruthless, absolutely focused, and he knew exactly what he wanted. And with the help of Anna and all the family, they've achieved the most beautiful building. What I'm more amazed about is the reason why this was built was to allow this town to thrive. And now it's the most beautiful home.
I've come to Cranley in the heart of Surrey. Vanessa Ford Robbins and her partner Nick Huddy fell in love with this Victorian gate lodge and in January 2009 bought it with 7 acres of land for £250,000. This Grade 2 listed building has been abandoned and left as a ruin for nearly 50 years.
When we first got here, you couldn't see through the gates. It was completely overgrown, brambles and everything, and 7 acres of laurel.
She's very, very picturesque, obviously. But it's got a lot of history. It's Victorian, and I've worked on Victorian buildings for most of my life. So it just seemed absolutely right.
I mean, it's just the gingerbread house. I mean, it's... it just sort of grabs you and just says, you're mine.
Nick is a carpenter and Vanessa is a theatre producer, and both have a passion for traditional building crafts. They've both done restoration work before, but this fairy tale cottage will be the first home they've made together.
Hi, you must be Nick. Nice to meet you. How are you?
You must be George.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
You've got to explain to me what we've got going on here.
Well, this is Squeak and that's Bubble, because you'll have to get to know them anyway.
Bubble and Squeak.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
What do you know about the building? Because it's incredibly ornate and decorative for what is really just a simple gate lodge. I mean, someone's really, really gone for it with all this decoration to make it look like a little gingerbread house in some ways. You feel like you just eat little bits of it, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's had quite a lot of names. It was called Scary Cottage at one point, but then I think it was called covered in ivy and looking pretty rank and dirty. We started to clean it up.
So why have you taken this on?
Well, if you'd found it sort of going through the brambles and suddenly found this place, then I had the opportunity, wouldn't you?
I probably would, actually.
Nick and Vanessa discovered Longhurst Lodge while walking in the nearby woodlands. When they found it was for sale, they made an offer and 6 weeks later became the proud new owners. While they complete the build, they'll be living in a mobile home on site. Enclosed by 2 walls and a listed 10-foot wrought iron gate, the gate lodge sits in 7 acres of laurel-filled woodland, next to the driveway which leads to the heart of the original Baynard's estate, a quarter of a mile away. The 2-up, 2-down cottage with the lean-to at the back has a tiny footprint of just 370 square feet.
Look at that. Gosh, it's tiny. It's the teeniest, cutest little thing ever, isn't it?
But this is about it.
So you've started doing some work already, I see. Put a few joists in and things?
Yeah, there was holes in the roof. There's a hole in this floor. I mean, a huge hole. And the pavers were just covered in the rubble, which had come down through it. You could see the jackdaws coming and going. Looked good in the starry night, but...
Not very wind and water times.
No, not very, not very. So that was the most important thing, get a new hat on, which is why the roof came so early.
For Nick and Vanessa, this project is a labour of love, and ideally they'd like to move in by Christmas in 7 months' time. They have a budget of £100,000 and have also received a small grant from the Surrey Historic Buildings Trust.
This is the little lean-to what was the kitchen, we think.
So it was a kitchen in this spot, you reckon?
Yeah.
And then what's it? This is the tiniest little room in here.
Well, there was
is this a little larder or something before?
That was the bathroom.
That was the bathroom?
You're looking at where the bath was. Those are the scars in the wall.
Chased into there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they used to have a tiny little earth closet,
So
we think.
to your right, that hole in the wall, that was the breather for an earth closet.
Oh my
you know an earth closet?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The bucket where you do your business.
Yeah, and
sprinkle
just
it with
slosh
earth,
it
and
out
the
there.
Council come and take it away.
Nice.
Yeah, this is pre-everything.
Yeah.
There's no electricity ever here, no gas, no sewage. That's one of those things we're not going back to, actually, because I do like modern convenience. But...
I don't blame you. And then through here, we've got another room.
Yeah.
It is the smallest little series of spaces, isn't it?
It's tiny.
Tiny,
And the
tiny
staircase,
little
of
rooms.
course, went all the way up here.
Is this all safe up here?
Yeah.
Ish.
Ish.
It's teeny, look at it, it's so cute. I love it. It's got so much character, hasn't it?
Well, Nick's standing in the landing.
Which
and
will be the landing.
I'm now going through the door into the bedroom.
Which will be
What we think.
the teeniest, cutest little room. It's fab. And this must be a new window, surely, because that's immaculate.
That's my first window.
You made that?
Yeah.
You did not.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Because I wanted to do something for the lodge that was mine. I mean, Nick is the builder and he's the maestro, but I wanted to do just something that would be mine.
You know, the big steps that you've made with this building already are brilliant.
Nick has already completed a course on traditional lime plastering, and Vanessa is learning the art of glassmaking.
you're a pretty hands-on guy anyway.
Yeah.
It seems like you're quite skilled. But to actually go out there, educate yourself in new skills just for this building to bring it back to life is incredible.
Both of us feel the same way. It's part of the fun of it all, isn't it? It's one thing to stick bricks together, it's another thing to do it the old style as well as the new style. Get the best of both worlds.
You're both hardcore restoration warriors.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you, that's very kind.
Absolutely brilliant. So is that it? Have we seen everything?
Yeah, I think we have.
That is it. That's the smallest tour I've ever done of any property, ever.
In the original building on the ground floor, there'll be a kitchen leading through to a small separate utility room and toilet at the back. Also adjoining the kitchen, there will be a formal dining room. Upstairs, there'll be 2 small bedrooms nestled within the traditional roof. Because the original building is so small, Nick and Vanessa want to build a new 2-storey extension to create a new living room on the ground floor with a large master bedroom suite above. This room will have large windows and a romantic balcony so they can enjoy the beautiful woodland views. Perhaps being carried away by its charm, Nick and Vanessa have bought this tiny Grade 2 listed building without any planning permission to extend. I'm worried they've risked everything on the gate lodge without ever being certain they'll be able to comfortably live in it. Despite no formal training, Nick's already drawn the initial plans for the proposed extension, taking on board all of the planning constraints.
They will allow you to do a 40% extension under the conservation guidelines.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
So how big's this one?
Around about 34% mark, give or take a fraction.
Okay. So you've got another 6% to play with.
That's
if you really
right.
wanted to.
That's right.
I don't think I've ever come across a couple who are so perfectly matched to the building that they've bought. They absolutely love it. But not just the finished thing, they also love the idea of the process, recrafting their skills, if you like, to add their touch to the building. But they still haven't got planning permission. And as it stands, this building is just far too small to live in.
Vanessa and her partner Nick have taken on a tiny Grade 2 listed gate lodge in Surrey, but it's really not big enough to live in. They want to add an extension at the back, which will need planning permission, and today is the pre-planning meeting.
It's all a bit nerve-wracking, really. I just hope that we've done the plans right and that Nick's drawn them right.
Not one for red tape, Nick has stepped aside to let Vanessa face the planners alone. He's hoping her theatrical background will charm them.
I get a bit tongue-tied. It's all that sort of stuff, you know. It's much easier because she's very fluent and very persuasive, and that's exactly what we need at the moment. You know, it's not an easy thing in application for planning permission.
For Nick and Vanessa, the extension is critical to give them the extra space they need for the lodge to be a functional home. Without it, their dreams are compromised.
How'd it go?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah,
Really all right?
I think so, yeah.
Brilliant.
While Nick and Vanessa have positive news about their extension, I want to find out more about the history of the building. Longhurst Lodge was originally part of the 2,000-acre Baynard's estate, with the grand house dating back to the Tudor period. On the estate perimeter were not 1 but 4 gate lodges, and Nick and Vanessa's was by far the most architecturally interesting. Baynard's house burnt down in 1979, but luckily drawings of it do survive at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and I'm hoping that they'll hold some clues to our lodge's quirky design. Architectural historian Matthew Whitfield has some 19th century plans of Baynard's house when it was remodelled by the renowned architect Thomas Rickman. Rickman's brief was to double the size of the house, but keep the original Tudor character intact. A sweeping driveway was added, and next to its grand gated entrance, our lodge was built, in a Tudor revival style that matched the main house.
The lodge is there at the edge of the park to announce something to the passing visitor about what the large house is about architecturally. So it's just a teaser.
Up until the 18th century, large impressive country houses belonging to landowners were visible to the surrounding local village or town.
In the 18th century, with the fashion for landscaped parkland,
Absolutely.
the house is then repositioned, local roads are rerouted so the house can sit quite happily in its own parkland, because the preference then is for more privacy. And then you're left with this problem. How do I still advertise my status and taste even though I'm sitting quite privately in a large park? So you take a little architectural device, sit it at the edge of your carriage drive, at the edge of your parkway, and then you can advertise that desire for status as well as maintaining your privacy. It's a retreat from broader society, and it's really emphasising this idea that the aristocracy are completely a breed apart.
By giving this new gate lodge a Tudor revival look and covering it in heraldic motifs called pargetry, the estate owner was using the lodge to advertise the grand Tudor house, hidden at the end of the driveway.
It's such fun.
With her passion for the arts and crafts, Vanessa has enrolled on a local glassmaking course to learn how to reglaze the decorative bay windows in the gate lodge. She's using original slumped Victorian glass set in traditional lead.
I would cry.
Not to be outdone by Vanessa, Nick is handcrafting the window frames in his workshop using oak from a nearby woodland.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Oh my God, this is brilliant. You're a bit of a dab hand, aren't you? Look at that. Oh, nice little mortise and tenon joints and everything. You're the man. Because you're kind of learning as you go along, has it become quite frustrating how long things are taking?
I always want to go faster, yeah, but no, at the same time, I've got to go slowly because it's so easy to make a mistake, and it's a right pain. The lead time on getting a new piece of timber is a couple of weeks or 3. So, yeah, you don't want to make any mistakes. It's all very steady Eddie.
True to their love for traditional building techniques, Nick and Vanessa are using lime wash to paint the outside of their lodge. As ever, their approach is a little unconventional.
I'm about 14 stone and I'm going to land in pig piss.
Let him swim, make him walk the plank.
Any flicks are purely accidental.
So I didn't do that on purpose, I genuinely didn't. Otherwise we're going to have a lime wash fight. It's like painting the Humber Bridge.
Yeah, it's about 4
or 5 layers, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to need at least, I would have thought.
The lodge's grand facade is starting to take shape, but a big question about its future still hangs in the balance. An essential part of Nick and Vanessa's restoration project is to build a new extension, increasing the square footage by up to 40%. Without it, this tiny house will struggle to work as a functional home. After several months of waiting, a decision from the planners is imminent.
Nick is really, really, really scared. I am really scared. It's the one decision that, of course, we have no control over. I think for us, this little process has been, without a doubt, the most stressful.
If they don't get planning, it's back to the drawing board, and their dreams will be shattered. At long last, it's decision day on their extension.
For every borough council acting as local planning authority under the provisions of Part 3 of Town and Country Law as amended, do hereby grant... Hereby grant planning permission for...
It's fantastic news. It's absolutely fantastic news.
I was basically expecting to get knocked back. So I'm always very negative about authorities and things like that. So this is a real big plus.
Shall we go and bash down that wall? Shall we get going?
After breakfast. That's good. Oh, yeah. Very good.
It's 6 months since I was last on site, and Nick and Vanessa have made great progress. Your windows are in.
I know.
Your windows are in. They look fantastic.
That was a great moment.
There he is.
Here he is.
Boy wonder.
Where's
Hello,
gone?
mate.
It's been
How
a
you
while.
doing?
How are you?
It's been a while.
You've been slightly busy.
Very busy.
Just a
Been
little
few
bit.
late evenings, yeah.
Look at this. It looks brilliant.
There's a couple of mornings where you wake up with a few aches and pains, you know, yeah.
A few mornings. It's
Every morning. So, the bones aren't working as well as they used to.
The pills, it hurts.
Should we do some work then? Oh, the first one in. How many of these have you done? How many?
I honestly don't know, 5,000, something like that.
Oh, man. Instead of using plasterboard, purists Nick and Vanessa are staying faithful to the original construction of their gate lodge, using traditional lime plaster blended with horsehair, which is then applied onto timber lathes. So look at that. Amazing. It's like hairy porridge. Nick puts his recently acquired skills into practice. That's lovely stuff, but not easy. That is rubbish.
Probably wants another 2 or 3 days before it's ready, before it's properly set.
And you said you wanted to be finished by Christmas.
No, I'll be in by Christmas. I didn't say be finished.
That's true, actually.
No, I'll be in. I'll be sleeping in this room by Christmas, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
But Christmas is like 2 weeks. That's it.
A breeze then, isn't it?
And what about downstairs? What about your kitchen?
Yeah, you build it, you get out of bed and you go down and build it, but it's a lot warmer in here once that fire's running than it is down in the mobile home, I can tell you.
So you're just going to rough it and camp out?
Well, if you call that roughing it, yeah. You go and live in the mobile home, you'll think this is luxury.
Desperate to get out of the caravan they've been living in for 9 months, Nick and Vanessa are pushing themselves to move into the gate lodge, despite it having no kitchen or bathroom.
Fire crackling in the grate, the Christmas tree, our little sitting room.
Even though the project is far from finished, they've moved in. And after enduring months of caravan showers, as a bit of a Christmas treat, they've installed a temporary bath.
And this is going to be a fantastic first bath.
It's the first time this lodge has been lived in for 50 years.
Cheers again, Mrs. Lodge. First bath in the house. Doesn't get much better, does it?
Cheers.
Happy New Year.
Nick and Vanessa have met their deadline of moving into their Tudor Revival Gate Lodge by Christmas. Although it's a big improvement on the caravan, as winter sets in, their euphoria is starting to wear off.
Yeah, living in the lodge has been a bit up and down. It's been quite cold at times, so there's heaters going on in rooms where there's plaster that's drying out. We actually scored -7 here, and the pipes temporarily froze. Yeah, Vanessa's been finding it quite difficult. It's the dust, being on a building site, and it's a lot for a woman to take. And she wants to go out to places and do nice things, and all the clothes are constantly covered in dust.
Camping out in the lodge, but still cooking in the caravan, is taking its toll.
When it's really, really, really cold, the gas freezes. I didn't think gas froze, but it does. So we don't have any gas. No. And also when it's very, 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 very cold, we don't have any water. Oh, got tired a little bit.
While Nick and Vanessa continue to battle with living on a building site, I'm visiting local collector Charles Brooking. He has an array of original artefacts from Baynard's mansion, the large country house on the estate served by Longhurst Lodge.
Oh my word. It's like the most incredible collection of windows I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I cover the history of the English window, the door, the staircase, the fire grate. It's going to be established as a national collection for the use of architects and people like yourselves.
See, I thought I was coming to see a salvage yard, but this is actually a museum.
It's an academic centre. Don't call it a salvage yard.
No. No, it's amazing.
The fun bit is I've got 2 cast iron shutter knobs here for you from Baynard's 1830s, and they're a gift to your couple who are doing this marvellous restoration.
These are a gift?
Yes, and they're Tudor roses, and they will be a nice symbol for that lodge, which I know has got pargeting, and it's an enchanting situation.
Honestly, Nick and Vanessa will be absolutely chuffed to bits to think that these came out of Baynard's and they can be reused and recycled and preserved in the restored lodge. Is just brilliant.
With its architectural flourishes, Baynard's mansion was a grand estate that demanded a team of people to maintain it. In the 19th century, the house had 7 domestic servants. But with 2,000 acres, it also needed a large number of outdoor staff. Our lodge was one of 23 small dwellings built to house them. As well as gatekeepers, the tenants of Longhurst Lodge would have been gardeners and members of their family. I've managed to trace a former resident, Irene Gould. I'm hoping she can give me a picture of what it was like to live there.
I mean, as I understand it, you were the last person ever to live in that lodge, is that right?
Yes, we were, yeah.
That's amazing.
1955 until 1961.
What was life like then at the lodge?
Awful.
It was awful.
Well, I'd gone back in time, hadn't I? Just cold water.
No hot water at all?
No. No electricity, oil lamps, and an outside loo.
And an outside loo. Well, that's compulsory, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Back then. Why did you move in there in the first place?
Well, my husband worked for Lord Ennisdale as a gardener. There was 3 of the children and me and my husband. The 3 boys, because they were only little at the time, slept in one room and we slept in the other.
5 of you in that tiny little lodge.
Yeah, this is why I can't understand anybody buying it. The rooms were so small.
Fed up of the uncomfortable conditions, Irene and her family eventually moved on. They were the last family to live in the lodge until it was bought by Nick and Vanessa. I was last on site 4 months ago. Since then, Nick and Vanessa have endured a bitter winter at the lodge.
Good morning.
Good morning, George.
Always lovely to see you walking the plank. The weather has been unbelievably bad recently, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, today it's fantastic. Today's lovely. But this is literally a mud bath.
Yes.
And you've caused some damage. Has there been damage to the building during the bad weather?
We had so much water around the porch it was threatening to come in, so I dug some trenches to take the water away.
Which is sensible.
And caught the corner of the building with the digger. It's been difficult.
Sometimes it's, I can't cope with this living anymore. And otherwise, dear God, it's wonderful. Look, what we're doing. It's just fantastic. Pig!
Even the pigs are now chewing through the cement mixer cable.
Slight domestic there.
Yeah, just adding the pets to the mix as well doesn't really help, does it, really?
This restoration project has really taken its toll on Nick and Vanessa. And for now, they've taken the decision to put the much-needed extension on hold. Instead, for the rest of the year, they'll focus on the main building to try and make it more comfortable. It's now nearly a year and a half since I first visited Longhurst Gate Lodge. After months of hard graft, I've come to see what Nick and Vanessa's sheer determination has achieved.
Hey, how are you?
All right.
So lovely to see you. You've done it. Well, it looks like you've done it. How are you?
Good, pal.
The outside looks absolutely fantastic.
She's pretty.
Unbelievably beautiful.
The first time I saw this building, it was sad and neglected. Now it's been restored back to its original splendour.
My God. I'll tell you what, all the hard work that you've put in to getting the lime washing done and getting the colours on there and getting the roof done, it's absolutely beautiful.
The love and dedication they've put into the fine detail of this building has brought the facade back to life.
It's not really until now that one actually says it is going to be our home, you know? It's actually not a building site anymore.
The new landscaping and surrounding water feature adds to the quirky character of this unusual dwelling, and it now looks as elegant as when it was first built.
Home sweet home. Oh, it's lovely and warm and cosy and snug. It was incredibly homely, actually.
For the first time in its history, this building has all the conveniences of gas, water and electricity. These modern comforts are balanced with traditional materials and craftsmanship.
I remember when this used to be like the chicken house.
That's right.
There was a chicken house in there. That seems like a long, long time ago, actually. Yeah. These windows are just fantastic. I mean, you have done such a great job on them.
Oh, you're very kind.
You know, it's been the perfect restoration partnership, hasn't it? From the timber work and the joinery being done by this man, and you doing the fantastic glass. I mean, it really has worked. It really has worked beautifully.
I have to say, the whole thing has been a privilege, not a chore. You know, this is not working for money, this is working for love, which is a rare experience.
Can I see the utility space? Is it all finished and done? Is it looking beautiful or not?
Well, we're getting very close, very close.
That means
work in progress.
You're not quite done. You're kind of there. Look at that.
Pretty well.
And it's a bit unfinished in there. It's more storeroom rather than...
It is, yeah.
In fact, you can just get to the loo.
Process of.
So the old bathroom's gone, and the bath we took
Yeah.
out. Where's your new bath? Have you got one yet?
No.
No. We've got a bath, we haven't got a room for it.
I love that.
But we've got friends.
So you just go to their house and have a bath there.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, last Christmas, we did actually put the bath that I'm talking about in here, but we can't have it because of all the
utility stuff.
We had the bath in here for a month.
We did.
And then you've taken it out, now it's a utility room, now you haven't got a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Can we move on, see the rest? So we go in the living room. Oh, it's so homely.
Where there was once bare bricks and no ceiling is now a cosy and comfortable living room.
Look at that. Oh, and the beautiful fire going as well. Perfect. And I think how many times I've stood in here and it's been cold and damp and the wind blowing through.
Laths up across
Yeah, we were doing that. We were fitting those through the ceiling. Yeah, that was a good day. I love it. It really does feel like proper arts and crafts.
There's more to see upstairs.
Now that is a really beautiful room. It's completely unrecognisable from when I was last here. Yeah, I remember standing here, making a right mess of all that plastering that I was trying to get on there. I'm amazed it actually looks that smooth, because I thought I did a terrible job.
All of the bedroom furniture has been beautifully handmade by Nick and demonstrates his passion for quality craftsmanship. His designs are not only functional, but they're also inspired by details from the original building.
It just feels really homely. Look at that, the roaring fire. Every bedroom should have a fire like that. Look at that.
This Tudor Revival gate lodge has lain derelict for 50 years. But Nick and Vanessa's incredible work means this historic building has been beautifully restored to its former glory.
So I've got a present for you, a book, all about the history and all the research that I've done on this building.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That's interesting, you see, because Nick's got skinnier and the pigs have got fatter. You can tell who's been doing the work.
And you naughty one.
That just sums you two up.
Very good, very good.
That's for you.
That is brilliant. Thank you very much, George.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Sweet as.
And thank you for being so supportive.
Good health.
I've got another surprise for you.
Oh my God.
Hello?
What I've got is basically the original handles from the shutters of Bernard's house.
Oh, cracking.
But these are
Beautiful, beautiful.
the original handles off the window shutters, the timber shutters inside of the windows
How
of
nice
Bernard's
is
Park.
that?
So when that house was burned down
What's the
and
beat?
gone in 1979,
Wow, look at that, that's something else.
you've got
Isn't
these.
that beautiful? That is
They are
fabulous.
very special. Thank you
They're for
very
you.
much. It's really, really cracking. I appreciate it. That's something for the lodge, isn't it? Eh?
Thank you.
I think you might need a drink.
I think I do.
Cheers again.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Well done. You did it.
Yeah.
All restoration projects take an enormous amount of time, hard work and dedication. But what makes this project so unique is the love, the passion and the care that's gone into every single detail. Nick and Vanessa have painstakingly honoured the finest principles of arts and crafts architecture, and they've not only saved this building for generations to come, but they've also added their chapter to its fascinating history. It was always Nick and Vanessa's plan to build an extension, but for now they're simply exhausted and are going to take a break until the spring. Although the lodge has no bathroom, it does have a proper kitchen and hot running water. For our restoration warriors, it's comfort for the first time in years. It's taken nearly 4 years of blood, sweat and tears for Nick and Vanessa to turn this derelict Tudor Revival gate lodge in Surrey into a habitable house. But with only 370 square foot of space and no proper bathroom, it's still not quite the home they've been dreaming of. It was always their plan to make it bigger. They will allow you to do a 40% extension under the conservation guidelines.
Yep, that's right.
After a 6-month breather, the revitalised couple throw themselves back into the project for its final chapter. To build the extension's timber frame, Nick and Vanessa have cashed in their savings and for the first time got help from a team of local builders.
So on the one hand, it's a luxury having people doing it for us, and on the other hand, it's a strain because it never goes fast enough. You want that bath. You need that bath immediately.
With the timber frame in place, it's business as usual as Nick and Vanessa tackle all the remaining work themselves. To match the new building with the old, they've sourced 4,000 reclaimed tiles for the roof and used handmade moulds of the original lodge's podger tree to decorate the extension. As ever, the building process is as important to them as the final outcome. Working side by side, they use every ounce of their creativity and their art and craft skills to push the project on.
The luxury of modern living is nearly upon us. We slowly but surely inch towards the 21st century.
It's been 2 years since I last visited Longhurst Lodge. I'm back to see if the extension works well with the original building and gives Nick and Vanessa the space they need.
It's been too long.
It's been so long.
You will.
Hello.
It's been like nearly 2 years, hasn't it? How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good,
I'm good.
I'll tell you what, there's a few changes out here, isn't
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working hard.
We did one each. Those are the cubes are waiting there to be turned into the other two.
You
on
turned that
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
That is actually quite impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, George.
It looks really lovely. And you've done loads of work out here. Landscaping.
It's coming on.
Where's the pigs?
They're just down there.
Down the hill, yeah.
They're all right.
It's all good.
From the front of the original building, it's difficult to spot what's new. Set at 90 degrees to the entrance, the perfectly proportioned extension seamlessly continues the original roofline. The old lean-to at the back of the lodge has been removed to make way for the new extension, with its steeply pitched Tudor Revival style gable. This extra space gives them a large living room, a master bedroom, and at last a bathroom. They also have a new patio and garden.
All of that detailing that you've done on there, the joinery work, the plaster work, the rendering, the arch detail that you've copied from the door in the front, all of it looks like it's been there since day one. And it's only the little touches of your clear glass floor on the balcony that make you think, hang on a minute, you know, that's 21st century technology that's managed to weave its way into this restoration project. You couldn't wish for a better restoration extension on a building than that.
Thank you.
It's bloody brilliant.
Upstairs, the new master bedroom is beautifully designed into the roof pitch, with doors leading out to a new balcony.
I mean, this is luxury, this, isn't it?
Well, it is for us, considering we slept in mobile homes with the installation of a rabbit hutch, yeah. It's good.
Now that is pretty cool. It's always a little bit disconcerting stepping out on a clear glass floor, isn't it? But it's really effective. You get all that amazing south light coming through the trees, through the balcony, rather than being obstructed by it, and down into your living space.
Like everything else on this restoration, the balcony was a joint effort. The ornate oak framework was crafted by Nick, and like the rest of the lodge's glasswork, the balcony's 120 panes were handmade by Vanessa.
The thing that I love about this project more than anything else is that you guys have made so much of it, because so many other people could have bought this and would never have done as good a job as you guys have.
Oh, thank God.
It's a quirky house, quirky people.
And there's also a life-changing addition next door.
Look at that.
The bathroom.
You know, for most people it would just be, oh, well, it's a bathroom, you know, with a bath in it and a sink. But for you guys, after what you've been through,
it does help you appreciate it. You've probably noticed how carefully calculated this room is. The bath was bought and then the room was built to fit the bath.
To the millimetre.
To the millimetre, exactly.
But we don't like wasting any space at all.
By the side of the loo. That goes under the step.
It goes under the step.
Under the step.
That's
exactly.
brilliant.
And the top one?
And this is our
chute.
our rubbish chute. And there's a bin in the cupboard in there, so everything hides. You keep the place as spacious as possible.
Yep.
Building the extension has also allowed them to rework the layout of the original lodge. Their only living space on my last visit has been transformed into a dedicated dining room, with simple natural materials and textbook arts and crafts design touches. Next door, the extension has given Nick and Vanessa a much larger living room. The couple have installed oak-framed glass doors to flood the new space with light. Running terracotta tiling from the inside out to the patio makes the room feel even bigger.
When you think about the footprint that you've got on the other side of that wall, which I love, you know, I mean, it is so cute that you've got all those tiny little rooms together. But this is a proper living room, isn't it?
Yeah.
It transforms it.
It's not just me who's been enchanted by the lodge's history. Even in their modern extension, Nick and Vanessa can't resist a nod to its past.
You might recognise the knob for a kick-off.
Oh, yes, look at that.
That was what you gave us, yeah. Well, we always think of George's knob as being something special. And all of this was thrown away at some time or another by previous occupants over the 150 years.
You've made a point of taking very ordinary things that are part of the history of the site and made something of it. What a nice touch.
After 5 years of hard graft, Nick and Vanessa have finally overcome this restoration's biggest challenge, making their tiny 19th century gate lodge into a functional 21st century home. Everywhere you look, this once forgotten gem is full of their humour, individuality and craftsmanship. I couldn't resist adding my own final touch.
Yeah, right, that's it. Then turn it back through the 90 degrees and go back down that line again. Better and better. I am just pleased to have a piece of your work to include with ours. Yeah. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for your personal touch, and I appreciate it.
It's not bad for an acorn, is it? Where's it going to go? Because I'm left-handed, it should go on the left-hand side.
It's going to go up there.
Is it?
I shall always have my breakfast on the left-hand side.
I've got a tiny little present for you.
Okay.
Don't open it yet. It's only a little something. I thought it was kind of appropriate.
Mrs. Lodge!
Mrs. Lodge.
Oh, whoa. That is absolutely brilliant.
That is wonderful!
No, you've got your bathroom. I thought you needed some really posh towels. How cute is that, eh?
Just really nice.
Many couples would sit back and relax in the luxury of their new home. But for Nick and Vanessa, living and breathing the restoration process has always been as important as the end result.
We've got a lake going down there. We're going to put a houseboat on it. We've got workshops to go. Little shop up the front to sell the honey and the jam and the woodworking and the pottery and the stained glass. And we thought about running classes as well, because we'd like to teach this stuff.
Great.
So that we'll have a studio all kitted up for silver, for glass, for woodworking, for everything.
Yeah, absolutely,
because it's
yeah.
all such fun and everyone can do it.
So there's going to be quite a legacy left behind after this build.
Yes.
It's not going to stop here, that's for sure.
This was such a neglected building that's been lovingly restored by a couple who couldn't have cared for it more. They've managed to strike that wonderful balance of staying true to arts and crafts tradition, while at the same time adding their own modern and creative touches. But this isn't a museum piece or a preserved relic. It's a living, working and evolving piece of unique history. And that's why I love it. Restoration projects often take a very long time. It was 3.5 years ago that Simon Hooper and his partner Victoria completely fell head over heels in love with a medieval hall. The building turned out to be far more ancient and more complicated than anyone could have foreseen. This is the tale of a jewel in the architectural crown of Wales. Nestled in the Vale of Glamorgan near Cardiff, Simon and Victoria are restoring this Grade 1 15th century medieval hall, which they bought at auction for £390,000. Apart from a Georgian addition and some Victorian remodelling, the building has been relatively untouched for hundreds of years.
Victoria had not actually seen the place until just before the auction, the day before the auction.
And I decided I really did quite like it, and watching all the other people coming for viewings and things just made me feel even more determined, really.
Our friends and things came over to see the property, and the first words were...
They just shook their heads, really.
You know, completely bonkers, you know.
They're keen to move in with their 3 young children as soon as possible, but there's a huge amount of work to be done, and an extremely meagre renovation budget of just £40,000. Fortunately, Simon's very handy. He runs his own prop-making business, so he and his workers will be doing much of the work themselves. We're going to see one of the finest examples of a medieval hall in Wales. I'm quite excited, actually. It's supposed to be Grade 1 listed, and it sounds like it's absolutely beautiful, a real historic gem. And where I can, I'm going to use my architectural expertise to help them on their journey. Good morning. I'm George. Hi, nice to meet you. How are you?
You as well. Yeah, good.
You've got yourself a stunning building here.
Oh, good stuff.
That's absolutely beautiful. What made you want to sell everything to buy a building like this?
Well, it's because this building's so unique, because it's sort of stuck in a sort of time warp, and because of that, there's no such building in this area like it.
But are you ready to move into a medieval building and live a medieval way of life?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I'm changing my car for horse and cart. So,
The overall floor area is an enormous 4,500 square feet, with some walls an astounding 12 feet thick. On the ground floor there are 4 small rooms. A kitchen, pantry, hook room and utility room.
Oh, what a great space.
so they call it the hook room because of all the hooks in here.
What is this for?
Well, I presume they just hanged all the meat up here, because in medieval times this was the basement where they kept all the animals and the food. Later on I'll be using it for hanging up my naughty children. So,
oh, this is great, Simon. What a space. And look at that window. Look at that. It's amazing. It just shows you how thick this strong fortified wall is.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
This building still has many original features, untouched for centuries, including this medieval meat larder.
This is quite interesting because there's an old cold slab they used to chop all the meats on, and you can see all the knife marks and cuts in there. It's amazing it's still here.
That is incredible.
And then any blood or whatever would just
drip
drip
down.
the hole. Yeah.
That is a fantastic
Right.
piece of slate. Gotcha. It's covered in so many years of dust, it's even hard to get through to the bottom of it, to be honest.
But the architectural treasure in this building is on the first floor. The original medieval hall measures 960 square feet and has the most incredible fine arched raised roof. Originally at one end of the hall was a separate area used as a bedroom by the lord of the manor. In the 18th century, a 3-storey annex was built, adding another living room, staircase and 4 bedrooms. In the 19th century, an external stair was added to access the first floor, when the main hall was used as a granary.
Oh, my word.
This is why we fell in love with the place.
Now that is incredible.
Isn't it? It's brilliant.
That is absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Yes. Takes your breath away.
And look at the size of it. It's
Yes.
great, isn't it? Can I have a peek inside?
Yeah.
Look at that. That is amazing. Absolutely fantastic. There's not many fireplaces that are built today that you could just walk into like this.
No, that's right. I can't wait to get it going and cook some toast in there and put my feet up in the winter.
The timber trusses or this window over here, I mean, it's fantastic. It's just... I mean, the style and character and feel of all of this building comes about because all the details are right. You've got one hell of a building here.
Yeah.
It's a proper medieval banqueting hall. Isn't it? It's just incredible.
I can't wait to have a proper sort of medieval feast here.
Yeah.
And you can come along for the first one. So,
I like invitations like that. As an architect, what I love about restoration is piecing together a building's history. And I'm sure there's more to Simon and Victoria's future home than meets the eye. Medieval manor halls were often built in areas of conflict, like the Scottish borders or the border with Wales. There are known to have been over 60 built in southern Wales alone.
They were the stately homes of their day, where the lord of the manor not only entertained, but also carried out important business. I'm visiting Monkton Old Hall in Pembroke, one of the country's best preserved medieval halls, with Professor Mark Horton.
So this is it, Mark. Beautiful.
Isn't it fab? Stone, what a statement.
It's absolutely stunning. So when would this have been built, do you think?
Well, it's sort of 14th century, we think.
So what would have been the original structure here and what would have been added?
Well, this whole wing here has been added probably in the late medieval period. The original hall and solar block is what we're looking at in front of us, and that chimney has then been added probably in the late medieval period as well.
Yes.
So this is the main entrance.
Excellent.
If you look
Wonderful.
up, you can see it's a kind of fake castle.
Oh, no, it's lovely, actually.
But it's not really a castle, it's a domestic building.
Yeah, great. What have we got in here?
Just the most extraordinary space.
That's
The
beautiful,
groin
isn't it?
vault is the undercroft, where they would have kept everything. You could imagine the barrels around the walls.
Isn't it quite unusual that you've got a kind of storage room and you're bringing people through the main entrance into the storage area?
Yes, but I think actually your guests will say, gosh, aren't you rich? You've got all this Madeira and Burgundy and claret and hunks of venison and so forth.
Very functional, but still a beautiful space.
And in the Middle Ages, you lived very well.
Absolutely. Shall we go upstairs?
Up to the hall. The absolute key part of the building that we're going to go into, which is the hall, the social heart of the building.
So this is main living space on the first floor, really, like Castle Farm?
Well, sort of, yes.
So, Mark, why were these buildings built in the first place and by who?
These first floor halls, stone halls, were built by the Normans, who were basically colonising Wales. Right. The Welsh are a bunch of savage, Celtic-speaking barbarians. The Normans came in here and introduced stone architecture. The Welsh would have been living in timber buildings made out of wattle and daub, sort of hovels, basically, and they put up this great statement, if you like, of Norman superiority.
And why in this style? Why these halls up on the first floor? Was it for defensive reasons?
Well, that might be one possible reason, because it's quite unstable times here. But I think it's prestige. It's the fact you could build a much bigger building that makes a bigger statement. It probably would have had tapestries around the walls. With a big table just here, probably raised on a little platform where the Lord or the posh visitors would be dining, and little tables on either side for the lower echelons of society.
So to me it sounds exactly the same as Castle Farm. We've got a slightly bigger space than this, but at one end there's a big raised platform where the Lord and Lady would have sat down there looking at their kind of servants and staff of the land. And what about these details up here? We've got these little slots, one there and one on the other side. What were they used for?
Well, there is the chamber, or the solar, where the Lord and Lady would actually sleep.
Right, okay.
And those little slots there are to look out to make sure that the retainers aren't carousing too much.
And so what about this one here? What would that be used for?
Well, that's the serving hatch.
Oh, brilliant.
So behind that wall would have been the kitchens.
And so this was very much about kind of eating, performance, status, kind of medieval theatre.
That's right. That's what it was all about. Music probably as well. You know, this was the place. This was the heart, the living, pulsing heart.
Spurred by the rich history of medieval buildings, I'm intrigued to find out where Simon and Victoria got their passion from. It all makes sense when you meet Victoria's parents, Michael and Eleanor, who live only 10 miles away in their spectacular 16th century Grade 1 listed manor house. Simon and Victoria and their 3 young children are lodging with them during the build.
They moved in with us for a time, and they're still here at the moment. We're still waiting for them to move into Castle Farm. But we're very happy to have them. It's lovely having the grandchildren here. I love it.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I think Victoria's been used to living in old houses like this, and she just enjoys it, you know. Simon is, if anything, more sensible and slightly less romantic. I remember the night before the auction, we got through a complete bottle of whiskey together. Because I said, this is a chance in a lifetime. It only happens once in a generation that houses like this come up, you know. If you don't buy, forget it. You may not have another chance. The whole business has to be something you enjoy, and it's a way of life. Simon is very... He's so interested and fascinated with the house. You know? He's the perfect man to have taken it on. And I told him it would take 10 years. I think I'm going to change it to 20 now.
A building as unique and unusual as this one comes onto the market once in a blue moon. Rare as still is the person who takes on such a massive challenge, with the strict regulations that come with renovating a Grade 1 listed property.
When he starts stripping back the layers and restoring this building, he's got no idea what problems he might come across, and that's my biggest worry.
In the Vale of Glamorgan in South Wales, I've returned to visit Simon Hooper and Victoria Glassbrook Griffiths, who in 2007 fell head over heels in love with a medieval hall. This 16th century Grade 1 listed building has been sitting quietly intact in the Welsh countryside for hundreds of years. Castle Farm is a medieval time capsule, offering a glimpse of how life was lived 6 centuries ago. But Simon and Victoria face an enormous challenge because they only have a budget of £40,000. Their plan is to start on the ground floor, restoring the kitchen and then moving on to the bedrooms so they can move in as quickly as possible. Victoria's taken a back seat on this restoration to look after their 3 young children, leaving Simon to battle on single-handedly. Simon wants to discover the building's complex architectural history, and I can't wait to get stuck in.
So you've got the opening here, which is the old...
Yeah,
You've started on that already.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we can see there's some nice stone here, so it's obviously a very nice old passageway there.
But we're looking for fireplaces, aren't we?
Well, yeah, and in here we've got... I know there's a flue going all the way up to the top of the house. I've seen in the old drawings, so...
There's only one way to find out, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We want to reveal the manor house's original fireplaces, but that means removing layers of building work done over the centuries.
We'll see you next week then.
You're just going to be doing this for months on end, mate.
I know, I have.
God, look at that.
Well, you've discovered a possibly medieval fireplace there.
That is bloody brilliant, isn't it? For that to be hidden away, and then you just uncover something, it's quite special, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, to see such a fantastic building like this and work on it and basically start breaking through holes in walls where you're hoping something's going to be there, but you just don't know. I mean, if I'm being honest, we're not even quite sure exactly what we've found, and that's why I think we need a real expert historian to come in and really analyse the age of the stone and the type of the stone to let us know what we've discovered today.
Our discoveries suggest that parts of this medieval manor may even be older than the 15th century. Welsh historical expert Richard Suggett is visiting Castle Farm in the hope that he can shed some light on this building's incredible history.
So when would there have first been a settlement here? What year do you think?
Well, settlement begins right at the end of the 11th century, but really gets into gear in the 12th and 13th century.
Richard's particularly interested in the thick outer walls. This could indicate that chunks of this building were once part of a completely different and heavily fortified structure.
So it's this corner here, is it, Richard?
Yeah, this is the northwest corner of the castle house. It's an extraordinarily thick wall.
Yeah.
Over 2 metres.
It's amazing, really, and I love the way it sort of slopes down as if it's like a very fortified stronghold, isn't it?
That's right, and that's a very good indication that the wall actually came this way.
Right. Oh, so it grew out further in this direction?
Came out further in this direction and was in fact the outer defensive wall for this part of the castle on the slope down to the river, which forms a natural moat.
Of course. Of course. And what age would this have been built? What year do you think, roughly?
I think the house is essentially 15th century,
right,
and the walls date back to a period before that. 12th, 13th, yeah?
12th, 13th. Right.
Yeah, yes,
That's fantastic,
it could be, yes.
This is intriguing news. Simon and Victoria's medieval hall seems to be formed from parts of a much older building. To find out just how big this fortified structure was, we need greater scientific investigation.
Well, in this miserable, wet Welsh weather today, we've got a team of archaeologists who are a geophysics team. They're mapping the land around the old farmhouse. I think the whole story about this building is its history. And if we find out where people would have entered and how fortified it was, we would have understood just why this building's been constructed the way it has.
The geophysicists mark out a detailed area in the field surrounding Castle Farm, and Mark Belcher begins carefully surveying the land.
It measures the resistance between 2 points.
Yeah.
And if you could imagine being able to push the electricity, the current through the ground with your hand, if it comes up against something like a wall, stonework, that type of thing, the software package recognises that fact.
So it's all about the electrical current being resisted in some way by historic remains underneath, and that picks that up.
That's right.
With any luck, they might find the O'Trahan treasure. A hidden chest of gold in there somewhere.
Exactly. Pay for the bills.
Yes, yeah, it probably will, actually.
Back in the banqueting hall, the survey is beginning to piece together the complicated archaeological jigsaw of this property.
If you've got the house there, this corner would be the corner of the building, so to have a wall coming off there.
Yeah, and it looks like that runs on to another
looks like another building, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it would be.
Nice
that shape,
rectilinear.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
And another linear running across here. So it looks like it's a totally enclosed, it could be a courtyard.
This is great. This is brilliant, actually.
Yeah.
The geophysics results show the original footprint of a much larger building, probably a castle complex, which is how Castle Farm may have got its name. Buried stone foundations show there are walls following the course of the riverbank, which continued way beyond the current house, which indicates a defensive building. It also shows the remains of other stone structures within the walls, and a round building which could have been used as an animal pen. This discovery is of major importance to our understanding of the medieval hall. The survey shows the remains of a huge castle with fortified defensive walls and a structure of over 5,000 square feet. Our geophysicist Mark has also found eroded earthworks in a deep ditch.
You can see a feature running across, and if you look at what was originally drawn here, you can see that shape there.
From outside the building, just out there next to the river, there could be a ditch going out, round.
Past where the barbed wire is now.
The man-made ditch could suggest a raised fort or motte. It all fits with the research that historian Richard Suggett has unearthed.
This is from our inventory volume, and that actually shows a ditch, a V-shaped rock-cut ditch. It certainly fits in with what we know the Normans were building in Glamorgan in the 1090s. Yeah, it's a very good day's work.
So it seems that Castle Farm started its life in the 11th century as a wooden Norman fortification with colossal palisades and a deep trench moat to protect its inhabitants from attack. It was then rebuilt in stone as building techniques advanced, and it must have been quite an impressive size, quite a formidable structure. To find out more about the architectural evolution of Castle Farm, I'm going to Cardiff Castle, a building at the very heart of Welsh history. Only 7 miles away, Cardiff Castle was built around the same period, with similar architectural features. I'm meeting historian and National Trust curator Liz Green.
So Liz, I've discovered that at Castle Farm, our project, there would have been an original timber structure there, a timber fort.
Yeah.
Would it have been similar at Cardiff Castle?
Probably yes, because we've got the motte which we're looking at here, this great big earth mound, which is the principal fortification. At least you've got a bit of an advantage if you're up on a hill.
Yeah.
And then we've got the moat around it, which has still got water in.
Originally a Roman site, the castle was built by the Normans as part of a network of fortifications to suppress the Welsh.
This is something special, isn't it?
Thoroughly, perfectly fortified structure, isn't it?
What was kind of happening politically, if you like, in Wales at that point?
Famous castles around the periphery of Wales, built, of course, by Edward I, the Ring of Iron. And these were put in place to subdue the Welsh to an extent and to enforce a rule and structure, an English kind of social structure.
So what happened? What changed?
This character, Owain Glyndŵr, he was a very well-to-do Welshman. He, I suppose, orchestrated the start of the rebellion in September 1400.
A rebellion against the English?
It was against the English.
During the Welsh rebellion of the 15th century, Owain Glyndŵr destroyed many castles along the Ring of Iron.
So is there a chance that at Castle Farm, we obviously had our original castle on that site. Would that have been destroyed at the same time by him?
I think it's highly likely, yes, because that's situated as we are now in Glamorgan, in that south part of Wales, which was very English, had really been since the Norman conquest. So it's a sort of big, powerful representation of English strength, and Owain and his followers were essentially trying to reclaim as much of Wales for their own and to live in the way that the Welsh historically had lived.
And have we got a similar sort of medieval hall here to what we've got at Castle Farm?
Should we go and have a look?
Yes, let's have a look. Wow, Liz, this is amazing. What a fantastic space.
It's pretty stunning, isn't it? It's, I suppose, a Victorian representation of what a medieval hall would have looked like. But if you strip back just a little bit of the bling, this is, I suppose, a slightly bigger version of what the hall at Castle Farm might have been like.
You've got the fireplace here on the right-hand side, practically in the same position as it is at Castle Farm. and the fantastic big kind of vaulted ceiling. But it's a wonderful space that reflects, if you like, our mini version of Castle Farm.
It is. The formula is exactly the same. It's a long room for entertaining and doing business and showing off a little bit, but underneath this fantastic vaulted ceiling, the structure is very similar. When you look at the roof, the trusses in Castle Farm Hall, you've got that called hand beams, and that is the shape, the profile of the roof. Very, very similar. And this axial fireplace. Actually, the fireplace at Castle Farm is practically as fancy as this one.
Very similar in style.
So it's amazing the closeness, if you like, between what is essentially a fancy farmhouse at Castle Farm and an incredibly important castle.
It's quite a big transition architecturally, isn't it? Because as a nation, you're kind of saying beforehand, this is about robust, strong, fortified buildings, and we're going to go from a castle form of architecture to a more domestic form of architecture.
6 weeks later, I'm back to see how Simon is getting on with his restoration of such an ancient building.
So Simon, what's been happening?
Well, since you last come, not too much, but we've been busy sort of trying to get onto the site. So we've got a caravan coming in the next couple of days, so we're gradually getting that sorted. And we've been doing some work upstairs. I've been doing quite a lot of work on the historical sort of reference and survey, but we've been so busy at work, I've not really had much time here. You know, it's difficult when you're travelling back and forth from another location. It's very hard to sort of you know, project manager or whatever. We just got to keep plodding at it and just see how it goes. But I don't mind if it takes me 10 years. It doesn't matter, you know.
I think it might at this rate.
Oh yeah, well I know that. I know that. So, but I am, you know, that's fine for me.
I think Simon's a lovely guy, right? And I love the fact that he's bought this building because he saved it. He really has saved it, and he loves the history. He loves all the qualities that it's got. But it's kind of ground to a halt, to be honest. I mean, since I helped him strip back that room, I thought it would be about another half day's work to finish that off. And that's all he's done. That is literally all he's done. I'm really worried because it's kind of as if he's bought this as a bit of a hobby. Nothing's happening. It's just going too slow. And most historic buildings take a long time. But at the minute, this is going to take a lifetime.
Simon Hooper and Victoria Glassbrook Griffiths bought this unique medieval hall in 2007. They have a tiny budget of just £40,000 for the restoration, a fraction of what they need. To save money, Simon is attempting to do the majority of the work himself, while juggling his own prop-making business, along with the demands of a boisterous young family. In the year since I met him, Simon has only managed to clear the property and start the restoration on one room. Simon, Victoria and the kids have moved into a caravan to spend more time on site.
We were hoping that we'd get the house done, and that seemed to be taking a little bit longer, so we thought, well, a caravan on site is quite good for the boys when they're working and things, for cups of tea and just somewhere to sort of get out of the dust and things.
Today, Simon's replacing a large oak beam in the kitchen, which is so heavy it needs half the Welsh rugby team to install it. Fortunately, he runs a small business, so he can use his own workforce, although they don't all share his passion for historic buildings.
It's all right if you like that sort of stuff, innit, you know? I'm not, myself, a modern person, I am.
It's a proper piece of structural oak. And we've got this chamfer, which is the same as this beam here. This is the actual oak beam that came out. So we've replicated it here, the angle, and there's a chamfer to the front as well, which you'll see later on. It will fit like a glove, hopefully.
Need to go water you then. Yeah, go on. Is there an acro in the way? No. No. We got room? All right. That's as far as it's going to go.
You need to cut the stone out more.
Yeah, we didn't want to touch the stone, you see. I think we've got to take it out. Right up. That's lovely. If it's not level, I'll eat this hat.
Nothing about enough bollock out as well.
Castle Farm is Grade 1 listed, which means it's regarded as of outstanding national importance. Some jobs can only be done by a specialist who is able to faithfully reproduce the original medieval construction. so stonemason Alan Teagle is carefully replacing the stonework to the kitchen chimney.
Well, the idea is to try and put them back where they came from, if we can, and hopefully we'll be able to get the stones back in their original positions. So it's trying to be as honest as we can.
Grade 1 listing also means that Simon cannot demolish, extend or alter the house in any way without special permission from the local planning authority and conservation bodies. Any move he makes is carefully scrutinised. Today, John Edwards, the conservation consultant, has come to inspect.
So how's it going?
Very well at the moment, thank you.
Good,
yeah,
good.
We're sorting a few stones, and hopefully by the end of the day we should be ready to start building.
Right, and putting more back in the same place.
Hopefully.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
good.
That's the
good.
plan.
We should have numbered them first, shouldn't we? Well, I should have numbered them, so... but it is quite a sort of a mix of stone anyway. There wasn't any sort of definite sort of lintel or pattern involved. So
We've got a good photographic record anyway, so that will give us a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice piece of oak. Simon is somebody who wants to do everything properly. He doesn't want to take shortcuts. He wants to do what's right by the building. People who own Grade 1 listed buildings are guardians of our heritage. You know, we put a lot of faith in these people.
Owning and restoring such a rare listed building is a huge responsibility and can often be a lonely and complex task. To give Simon a boost, I'm taking him and Victoria to a nearby Grade 1 listed medieval manor house, Plas Clan Mahangel, in the Vale of Glamorgan, which I hope will offer inspiration and whet their appetite for the task ahead.
Up this beautiful staircase, quite like it actually, it's very grand.
Nicely warm.
And then into what I think is the best part of the building, the first floor hall.
Good gracious.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
The plasterwork there.
Well, the plasterwork is actually one of the most special pieces of this building. It's really the kind of jewel in the crown, to be honest, and it really is stunning.
So has this been a sort of a restoration one from the start?
Yeah.
So how long have they been doing it?
22 years.
Oh, that gives me a good idea, doesn't it? So, maybe it's not so bad after all. So,
you're flying.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I feel comfortable now by this.
So this is the oldest part of the building, actually. This is kind of 12th, 13th century. It kind of crosses over, really, in terms of the date and time of it. But through in here, you've got one of the lovely bedrooms that's all been restored. I think what's lovely about it is these guys have done the restoration and conservation of the building brilliantly well, but actually they've brought in a lot of functional things and got that sense of comfort. You know, it feels very warm in here. You know, they've got the heating system in, they've got all the electrics in, they've got the drainage and plumbing in, because obviously it's used sometimes as a kind of B&B and people staying over. But very functional, warm, cosy space. Don't you think?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, the bed's fantastic as well. Look at it, it's amazing. An absolutely perfect job of it. Absolutely, they've got it right. And the building is totally inspirational, without a doubt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully one day yours will look as good, if not better than this. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no problem.
The visit seems to have done the trick. It's full steam ahead as Simon tackles the major jobs. At long last, the scaffolding is going up to enable the roof to be stripped and relaid in order to get the building watertight before the Welsh winter sets in. They've even roped in the kids to tackle the interiors. Simon's up on the roof repointing one of the chimneys. As with all restoration, it's a labour of love.
It's a bastard of a stuff to get off. You can't use machine tools on the actual walls because the vibration affects it. So you have to do it by hand. You can see how long it's going to take to do the chimney. Spend days just chiseling away at the concrete. It's actually quite nice until you whack your hand.
A month later, I'm back to see what progress they've made.
Oh, this is a bit different. It's more like it.
Yeah.
That's good. You've got a new window in, so brand new window, yeah?
Yeah.
All in all, very beautiful.
Yeah, we made that ourselves in the workshop.
New lintels in, very good. You did this yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
This is all Welsh fallen oak.
Yeah, they've done a great job on them, actually.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. Look at that! First fix plumbing, eh? Happy days.
First fix, yeah. Well, apart from some of the window work is quite detailed there.
This is fantastic.
Starting to get together.
This is definitely more like it. Even where you see the stonework there that you've all cleaned that up, and the way that the plastering's been blended into it, nicely feathered in, with the little details of where it steps in and out of that side. It's all of those little touches that you're brilliant at, actually. But there's one rather important room in the manor house that seems to have escaped Simon's loving attention. It's turned into a grand medieval storage room.
That's the one good thing about this place. You can cut and saw and put your wood in here.
You're always looking at the positive side, which I do love.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a brilliant, useful space, this.
You haven't done anything, have you?
No, we can't really.
Nothing?
No.
So what do you think, Victoria? In for Christmas?
I think so.
Not quite sure which year, or even which decade, perhaps. But at some point, you'll be in for Christmas. One day.
Well, our friends say that the first party here will be my retirement party.
There's no doubt about it that Simon and Victoria's medieval mansion hall is a fantastic, spectacular building. But the state of the banqueting room itself is symbolic of the task that lies ahead. They've made a lot of progress, but there is still an enormous amount of work to do. Even back in the 16th century, this building was described as being derelict. I would like to put a bet on when this build's going to be finished. I last visited Simon Hooper and partner Victoria in November 2009. There was still a very long way to go on their restoration journey and no end date in sight. But at long last, their medieval hall has been transformed into a house fit for the Lord and Lady of the Manor. And after 2 long years, they're almost in. But first, they need to move out of Victoria's parents' home, where they've been living during the build. It seems that all the family have been roped in to help with the removals. It's a really exciting day for everyone, especially the kids.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's great to be at this point at this time and feel as though we're turning corners now, and obviously get out of Michael Leonard's house and leave them quietly and get on into the castle.
It's a long time, much longer than we envisaged. We thought they'd be here for sort of, what Simon said, 3 months perhaps, you know. 3 months. It's nearly 4 years now.
No, I'm really looking forward to having a glass of wine, sitting down and having friends over and enjoying the ambience of the house.
But as Simon moves the family belongings into the manor house, it's clear that the building isn't quite finished. Stonemason Alan Teagle, who's been working with Simon every step of the way, is still hard at it in the baronial hall, while Victoria's brother Michael is adding the final touches to the outside of the building.
I've been roped in, shanghaied into just giving them the last bit of help, Simon and Victoria, just before they move in now on the weekend. So it's been a hard bash for Simon over the last couple of months now. So this is the last leg, really.
It's been fascinating to see the difficult journey they've been through restoring such a highly listed building. I'm eager to see if Simon and Victoria have completed their project to restore a medieval manor house into the family home of their dreams, and crucially, whether they've been able to make an ancient building work for modern family life. Hello there.
Hi, George.
Good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Hello, family all there. Hi, Victoria.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. How are you? It looks great on the outside.
Good.
What a difference.
Yeah, different from last time.
It looks fantastic. Shall we go inside? Great. Hello, how are you? Look at you three. I can't believe it. The first room to see is the kitchen. 2 years ago, it was a gloomy space with no clear function. But today, it's a completely different room.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's light, it's bright. When you think about how dark some of these spaces were before, I mean, you really felt like you were in this kind of medieval, dingy structure, and you just lifted it up.
And also, we've got underfloor heating in here,
Nice.
so it helps again. So
Again, it's another 21st century addition that you've put in, which is absolutely right for the building. So all been lifted up, packed with insulation, new slab, underfloor heating, and then these beautiful stone slabs on top. It's perfect. You must be quite pleased with it, yeah? After all the hard work?
Yeah, very pleased. Yeah, it's wicked being in here now as well.
Victoria, what do you think of it? What do you think of the kitchen? How does it work?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah? Has it been worth all the effort?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
This is old. Well, it's not new. It's very old, but it's a new thing for me to see. What's this?
Yeah, it's basically we've reassembled the Victorian copper that was here before. Obviously, it's you can see it's stainless steel because the price of copper was rocketed at the time.
You couldn't afford to do it in copper?
No, really, no. It was £400 for a sheet of copper.
Is it going to be used or not? I mean, Victoria, do you imagine using this, washing clothes and stuff like that, or not?
Yeah, of course, because I haven't got a washing machine. No, I was kidding.
It'll probably be used for keeping our beer cold in the summer for barbecues and stuff like that. So, bit of champagne in there.
Another modern twist on the old idea.
Yes.
I like that. Come on. And do you want to lead the way? You can be the boss today. Come on.
Next door to the kitchen is the old hook room. Drab and unloved, Simon has worked wonders to turn it into the family dining room, complete with log-burning oven.
This is great. It looks fantastic. What a great space.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Really,
good
really
room,
lovely
isn't it?
room.
It's got an amazing atmosphere since the furniture's come in, and it's taken its own sort of way, and you know, we will embellish it from now on. I'm sure it'll become more of a characterised room.
And this space is actually quite genuinely medieval, isn't it? Because you've put underfloor heating in there where you replaced the new floor. But this is the original stone slab floor, so you've got no heating under here whatsoever, have you?
But surprisingly, with the thick walls of this building, it's like a storage oven. It keeps the heat inside and surprisingly warm. And what's really interesting is the hall is above us, and there's 4 layers of floorboard there. They've been slabbing layers over the years on it like your onion, just layers and layers. And basically, in between them, because it was a grain store at some stage, all the grain is dropped in between the floors. And it is actually, surprisingly, mega insulated historically.
Just because of all that grain.
Yeah, so this is probably more efficient than a Code 5 house.
It's a great room. It's fantastic, actually. It'll work really, really well. You'll just have to kind of hang some animals up on here at some point to make it truly authentic.
Yeah, and some children.
The effort and attention to detail that Simon and Victoria have employed in this building is really impressive. They've managed to incorporate the needs of a modern family while at the same time retaining the beautiful historic nature of the medieval house. Up in the 18th century annex, the high level of craftsmanship continues. The bedrooms have been lime rendered and sympathetically restored to a condition that any lord and lady would be proud of. When I last visited Castle Farm in November 2009, there was one room that Simon had not even started renovating, the massive medieval baronial hall.
It's turned into a grand medieval storage room. You haven't done anything, have you?
No, we can't really. No.
So, has Simon managed to restore the heart of this manor house into the room he always wanted?
This is unbelievable. It's fantastic. I'm speechless. This is what you've always wanted, isn't it?
And my retirement party's come early.
And then you did say, didn't you? You said, I might have it just about when I retire.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I've got to keep working to pay off the rest of it.
And I love the way you've done all of this. I mean, this has been beautifully restored.
Yes.
And then you just left all the stonework. I mean, even, I hope you don't mind me saying it.
No.
There's even bits of dust on there. It hasn't been kind of sandblasted to the point where it's pristine and immaculately new.
Well, basically what we've done, the old lime wash is still there, or the lime render, and the stonemason, Alan, is wonderfully just carefully pushed it in and saved the original lime render and just patched any patches and filled any bits. Conservation of the highest order.
He's done a great job. I mean, it's so easy that when you're dealing with a building like this, you end up losing so much of that because it feels like it's damaged.
Well, lime is wonderful stuff. You can blend it back into the old lime and just keep working with it. So that's why there's layers and layers and that's why in churches you find that the sort of images behind the walls, we're hoping that maybe there's something behind it somewhere, but you'd have to carefully peel off the layers, but for the moment we're just conserving it.
But I love that. I mean, you've added your additional layer to those history of layers, if you like, and that's what this whole building's about, isn't it? Layer after layer after layer of history. Simon's passion to preserve as much of the medieval fabric of the building is to be applauded, but as I look upwards, I think for once it may have come at the expense of comfort. One of the most beautiful features in this building is that roof. Yes. It is stunning.
Yeah.
But you've had to kind of compromise on normal building standards, haven't you? Because you look up there and all you can see is slate. There's no insulation, no plaster, but none of the stuff that you'd normally expect. It's going to get freezing in here, isn't it?
Yes, in the summer the slate actually attracts the heat, and it's actually very warm in the summer, but yes, cold in the winter. But you know, in the future we will try to insulate the roof and take it to its next level. We've still got a lot more conservation to do in here.
But it's a difficult one to do this because all the features of that timber are so beautiful. You want to see them and celebrate them, don't you?
Yes.
Although Simon and Victoria have gone over their original £40,000 budget, they've still only spent £68,000, which for this restoration is a remarkable achievement. As the night draws in around this magnificent building, they've one more surprise in store. To celebrate their success, they're hosting a medieval feast for all the people who've helped restore Castle Farm, as well as their friends and Victoria's supportive parents.
Please welcome to the top table the new Lord and Lady of this manor, Simon and Victoria.
After hundreds of years, the hall is once more alive with medieval life.
So when I first came to see Simon and Victoria about 3 years ago, and I said, you should have a fantastic banquet in this space when the build is finished. And he said, yeah, it'll be more like a retirement party. So I think more than anything, we've got to celebrate the fact that just 3 years on, you're making history because the banquet is happening tonight. And that is fantastic.
And tomorrow I retire.
Cheers, well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers,
absolutely
George, thank you.
To the Lord and Lady of the Manor.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And because it's such a historic moment, I've got a little present. Where is it? Here. We've got a book. It's like kind of This Is Your Restoration Life. Remember the beginning of all this?
Yeah, look at that. Amazing. Gosh.
There's one of the first drawings.
Amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
That is quite an amazing shot, because when you look back at that very original picture, which is where all these guys are sitting now, what a difference.
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
You forget how bad it was, actually.
Yes.
You really
right.
do. What an incredible building. Simon and Victoria have put absolutely everything into restoring the fabric of this medieval structure. It's taken a huge amount of hard work, effort and determination. And Simon's passion for history has revealed some of this building's most hidden secrets. It couldn't wish for a better custodian.
All over the UK, thousands of historic buildings lie forgotten and neglected, often tangled up with red tape or abandoned by owners who cannot afford the repairs. Some of these are in danger of being lost forever.
You sit there at home and you look at the TV and you think, I could do that.
I dream about the house every night.
It definitely took a lot of blood, sweat and tears to get the planning permission.
In this series, you're going to see people breathing new life into derelict water towers, engine houses, windmills and churches. When you take on a listed building, you're taking on a responsibility.
You become its guardian to pass on to future generations. As an architect, I'm passionate about our architectural heritage, and I want to help these restoration warriors on their journeys as they reclaim, recycle and make these buildings useful again.
I've come to the site of the famous White Horse in the heart of rural Oxfordshire. The White Horse is also home to the village of Uffington. Uffington may appear sleepy now, but it once played its own small part in the Industrial Revolution. Built in the mid-19th century, this engine house is the only building left of what was once part of a vibrant brickmaking manufacturer. Tim and Emma Verdon, together with their 3 children, Lucy, Edward and Georgina, have a vision to restore this derelict monument of our industrial past into a dream home. At the moment, they live in rented accommodation, which comes with Tim's job as a bursar at an independent school. And being passionate about their 4 horses, the engine house's 6 acres was an added attraction.
Yeah, I stumbled across it in the local paper, in the back of the local paper. As soon as we climbed over the gate, we just thought this was the place for us.
It's not a 10-year fix, it's not a 20-year fix. It's a, it's a long term, it's
Forever.
a 50 or 100-year fix.
We've bought all this with every single penny we have.
We think this is our dream home, don't we?
It's perfect, just what we wanted.
Using the money from the sale of their previous house, Tim and Emma bought this building and the land for £365,000. They hope to get a mortgage of a further £220,000 to complete the work. I know that every building has a story to tell, and if Tim and Emma can understand that history, it may shape their restoration journey.
Hi, George.
Look at all your crew.
Hi,
Emma, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Well,
Tim.
thanks.
How are you? You well?
Yes.
Good, I like this bit of slave labour on a building site. It's always
yeah.
nice and cheap on a build.
Yes,
Certainly
they're
is.
very enthusiastic for about 5 minutes.
If you can get them to do anything at all.
And it looks like you've bought a bit of brickwork, and that's about it.
Very sound Victorian brickwork. We had a structural engineer look at it, and the foundations are really good. Clearly, the downside, it doesn't have a roof.
Yeah, which is quite a big issue.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it is. But
Stating
at
the
least
obvious.
it's got walls.
So, the big question, how long?
Well, hopefully we'll be in by the Easter holidays, but it might not be till the summer.
Right.
But we, if we get a few rooms done in the house, we could certainly move in.
What's your budget?
We have got available about 220,000, but that's for the house and for the carport and for the fencing and the garden and,
Services and the
everything,
footpaths.
yeah.
There's a lot.
Every whole bang
Everything,
sheet.
yeah.
Should we go and have a look at the building?
Yes.
I'm dying to see it.
Since the brickworks closed in 1923, the engine house has been used as an agricultural barn and comes with a footprint of 2,100 square feet. When Tim and Emma bought it, it had 2 rooms with planning permission to build a single-storey extension.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Do you like the designer thistles?
Internal garden.
Yeah, I think you should keep this. I think it's fine.
The house with no roof. Plenty of light.
But it's lovely and warm and sunny inside.
It won't be for long when the miserable winter kicks in.
And this strange floor, which did it extend any further? Well, that's as far as it went, and it's got it's got a couple of timbers that one on top of each other. So whatever was up there was pretty strong.
I want to get up there actually.
You can climb up on the bricks the other side.
Yeah.
The wall in front of you might fall down, but we put and then a foot up there, and then you might have to.
Well, it's brilliant. Oh, that wobbles. The brickwork then wobbles.
Which I'm holding together.
That entire wall wobbles. And then even the timber bracing, which is helping support the gable at the end, that wobbles as well.
Which is why we need to get the roof on pretty quick.
You need to get the roof on bloody quick.
Although now just a shell, for me, Tim and Emma's engine house holds many mysteries.
What is of really great interest is the fact there's a little eyebrow above the top pier, which has been broken. But we found these in the rubble that we were clearing out.
Fantastic.
So there's 3 bits of eyebrow that we could
so you can get them back in.
Stick back
we
somehow.
might be able to get them back in.
And it's the way they've done that. The rounded corners of the brick. This is a more modern, sand and cement there, but lime mortar corners like that. With
and
the
then
little,
the corner up here. They've sort of taken that edge off.
No, it's what I'm amazed about in buildings like this, something that's got a kind of engineering or industrial or agricultural past. The level of thought that goes into crafting all of those tiny little things, tiny little details that make a very simple building sing.
As an architect, what I love about restoration is piecing together a building's history.
This plot that Emma and Tim have bought probably had many other buildings on it. I'm keen to unravel the history of this brickyard to find out how it actually operated and who it supplied bricks to. Like many stately homes that had their own clay pits, the Uffington Brickworks was built by the Earls of Craven in the 1840s to produce bricks to build their own buildings on their estates.
But by the late 19th century, this yard, like many owned by stately homes, had turned into a thriving business to meet the demand to build more and more houses. On my journey into the archives, I want to find out about how that demand grew and what it was like to work here. Although the engine house is of historic interest, it's not a listed building. Therefore, Tim and Emma have some flexibility with the planners. I'm intrigued to know about their plans. Tim and Emma already have some ideas of how they want their house to be. Downstairs, they want to build a double extension to incorporate a living room. They also want to have a large kitchen, family room, and a vaulted dining room. But I think they're not making the best use of the space available.
I was just wondering whether there was any opportunity for the dining hall space to move over to here and the loo to move over to the utility room, so all your drainage was in one position. So the diagram, if you don't mind me drawing on it, the diagram quite simply is family room here is one space, then you've got utility room, toilet and drainage. This is kind of wet area stuff, drainage stuff.
Yeah.
That's your family room. And then in the diagram just becomes this is kind of kitchen, whether it's kitchen, dining, breakfast or kitchen, breakfast.
So, taking Tim and Emma's plans for downstairs, this is what I'd do instead. I'd put the utility room and cloakroom alongside each other, opening up the kitchen to make it into a combined dining room as well. This means that important room will get light from 3 sides of the house.
The whole central zone of that diagram becomes the kind of, it serves the house.
Yeah.
It's corridors, hallways, staircase, utility room, toilets.
All the things that don't matter so much.
All the stuff that doesn't matter goes into the centre of the plan. And then around the edges of the plan, you really enjoy the spaces that get the best views and the best natural light.
I like that idea because, until you mentioned it, actually, of course that's the way we want to look. We want to look over the land that we own.
Upstairs, they're trying to squeeze in 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. But I've really altered things. By changing the position of the stairs and putting in a central corridor, it means that the master bedroom and guest room each gain an ensuite. Also, the other 3 bedrooms for their children are now all together.
What do you think?
Fantastic. I think there's some really great ideas there, aren't there?
Really good ideas, yeah, because we've got quite stale thinking about it so much, and it's great to see another angle, I think, on it. Well done.
You know, I've done it once or twice before.
Yeah, that's great.
Before they even start, Tim and Emma have a major problem. To meet the bank's demands before they grant a mortgage of £220,000, they've got to hit a 6-week deadline to get the roof on and make the building watertight. But they only have £25,000 of savings to do the work, and no roof means no mortgage.
If it's wind and watertight, then we can meet the criteria for the mortgage, and then we can go and start on everything else we need to.
But that's more than 25 grand.
Yes.
Yes.
I can tell you now.
Yes.
So what are you going to do?
We'll put a second-class stamp on the cheque.
You've got to get that roof on under very tight financial constraints to then release that money from the bank to carry on.
Yes, we have.
And if the bad weather kicks in before that, it's even worse.
Yeah.
To cut costs, Tim and Emma hope to do a lot of the preparation work themselves. They've even bought a digger for 12 grand rather than hiring one.
Some people are 2-car families. We're a 1-car family with a digger.
Tim and Emma have also made another daring economic decision. While Tim will continue to work as a bursar, Emma has left her job as a school teacher and taken the risky step to project manage the entire build.
Well, I think it'll be quite fun. I'm sure it'll surprise me how difficult it'll be, but, you know, I've got Tim there. He's a good support.
Yeah. You will get there, but the journey there can be
Pretty horrific.
painful.
Yeah. Be interesting what I say in 9 months' time, won't it? Tearing my hair out, saying, I'm not ever doing this again!
I'm absolutely fascinated by the history of this building and what it was actually used for. And I'm amazed by how brave this family are, to be honest, in taking something like this on. But the next few months are going to be unbelievably difficult for them, with a massive amount of pressure to get it wind and watertight and raise the finance that they really need. It's a big worry.
In June 2010, Tim and Emma Verdon bought this 19th century building, along with 6 acres of prime Oxfordshire countryside, for £365,000. It's an engine house, and the only remaining structure of what was once a vibrant brickmaking works. They plan to turn this building into a family home, but with their savings of £25,000 nearly gone, they have a problem. They need to raise a mortgage of £220,000 to complete the rebuild, but the bank won't release the money until they put a roof on, and they only have 6 weeks to meet the deadline. If they miss that, they'll have to start the whole difficult process of getting a mortgage again. They couldn't have started at a worse time. With winter coming on fast, Tim and Emma are racing against the clock. They both know that no roof means no mortgage.
Morning, Tim. Emma, how are you?
Very well,
Good to see you.
Good to see you
The
too.
sun's shining.
I know, it's lovely. It's a lovely day. Yeah.
Good. Hello, mate. How's things?
Hi, good, thanks.
You
Yeah,
alright?
it was better with the sun.
You've got the roof on.
I know.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Well, got the felt on.
That's all you needed, though, wasn't it? To keep the bank happy?
Yep.
The bank are very happy.
Just how close were you in terms of time into missing your mortgage?
The mortgage offer was going to run out the following Wednesday, and we got the mortgage on the Tuesday.
Wow.
So it was...
You were
was
cutting
a
it very fine.
Yeah, it was a
Unbelievably
bit
fine.
close to the bone.
Having got the mortgage by the skin of their teeth, there's another big problem. It's with the slate tiles for their roof.
So what's the plan with the slates? When are they actually going on top?
Well, we took a slate, an example slate to the planners last week.
So when do you hear back?
8 weeks.
You're kidding
It's going
me.
to take 8 weeks for them to make a decision.
That puts you into January.
Puts
Yes.
us far too late down the line, and we're thinking of being a bit revolutionary, aren't we?
We're going to take a gamble and start putting slates on the roof.
Big risk.
It is a big risk.
The problem is, if you go ahead and do it and they don't like it, they'll make you take it off.
And for some reason, Tim and Emma still haven't submitted the plans I changed for them back in September.
This is a massive, massive problem because you're on site,
Yeah.
you've got guys on here,
Yeah.
but you've got a pre-planning inquiry in for the amendments on the design. You've got no feedback on it and you've got no date of when that's going to come back. Even when that does come back, you've got to put in the formal application for the amendments.
Yeah.
And that'll take a minimum 8 weeks anyway. And you haven't got a decision on the slate for the roof on them either.
Yeah, it's not a very satisfactory situation at all.
The pace of this build is going really well, but my biggest worry at this stage is they haven't got all their planning permissions sorted out. And there's a chance that unless they do that very quickly, this build could grind to a halt. With Tim and Emma facing the huge problems of getting planning for their brick house, as the grandson of a builder, I'm really keen to know as much as possible about the history of bricks themselves. The Romans brought bricks to the UK about 2,000 years ago. But the problem is, when the Romans left, they took their brick-making skills with them. So for the next 700 years, us Brits were used to living in houses made of timber, or if you were lucky to live in some sort of castle, it might be made out of hand-carved stone. But my studies have discovered that all that changed in the early 16th century when one particular king decided to build himself a palace.
Hampton Court was turned into a palace by Henry VIII in 1528, and it's one of the finest examples of early brickwork in Britain. I've come to meet the curator of historic buildings, Kent Rawlinson, to find out more about the evolution of building in brick.
It's like a pattern book in some ways, isn't it, for bricks? Because you see all the fantastic textures, the different periods, the different ages.
It's all about showing off your status. So you're partly showing off your status by the size, partly by the material, brick itself, and then partly by just the detail. And the chimneys here all show, for example, that you've got fireplaces that you can heat with coal. So it's all about money and showing off.
150 years after Henry VIII, William III asked Christopher Wren to demolish Hampton Court and rebuild it. Luckily, there was no money, so instead Wren decided to celebrate bricks and build the royal apartments on the east side of the palace.
He uses 3 different types of brickwork to demonstrate the 3 different statuses of the floors in this building. So on the ground floor, you've got this very sort of purpley dark brickwork, which when you get up close is quite sort of rough. Yeah. And then on the first floor, where the royal apartments are, you've got this very, very fine, high quality, sharp, bright red brickwork. And then above that, something that's a bit in between the two. And that sort of reflects the fact that you've got the royalty on the first floor, you've got some kitchens and offices, but some sort of smaller royal apartments on the ground floor, and then courtiers right at the top. So it makes the building read much more dramatically.
So the use of the brickwork itself is a reflection of status?
Yeah, so in the 16th century, you've just got one brick for everywhere, and here you've got different bricks telling you different stories.
To appreciate the sheer scale and beauty of Hampton Court, Ken takes me to a particular place that very few people get to experience.
So this is a view that not many people must get?
No, it's just magnificent, I think. You get to see how Hampton Court sits within its estate, with the huge parks out to one side and the Thames sort of looping round the whole thing of palace and park. You start to see the fact that we've got millions of bricks at Hampton Court. So something like 26 million bricks are used by, or sort of documented by Henry VIII's builders. And each one of those is being made by hand.
The landscape, this strip, is just all brickwork, isn't it? Building, brickwork, all the way around.
Yeah. What I always find magical is the way that with about 16 million of those bricks being made on site, and partly from clay that is being dug out of the park here, you have Hampton Court sort of rising out of the ground on which it stands.
Architecture, landscape, absolutely connected with each other.
This is what Tim and Emma's engine house and Hampton Court have in common. They both evolved from their local clay. Back on site, the day that Tim and Emma have been waiting for has arrived. They're meeting local planning officer Mike Gilbert. If they can convince him to accept their plans, they can get the go-ahead to tile the roof and start work on the main building.
I think so. It's a momentous day, we think. There's going to be some decisions made which hopefully are in our favour.
Morning, Tim.
Thanks for coming out to see us.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Very kind of you. Oh, it's a bit less frosty than it has been.
Morning.
So, is the restoration sympathetic to the building's history? Is the proposed extension agreeable? And are the roof tiles acceptable?
I think from the local authority's point of view, the most important issue is to ensure that the building's original character is retained. Mm-hmm. Although you're suggesting moving the extension from one side to the other in principle, I think that's fine. To my mind, a concern is the size. The changes you're proposing here as a whole, because you are moving the extension and making other alterations, it will need a fresh planning permission.
As I told them, they're going to have to fully resubmit their plans. But what about the roof tiles?
It's a good quality, natural slate, absolutely fine.
And so you're happy?
Happy with that, absolutely.
That's great.
If they are changing the approved plans, it depends on the extent of the changes, but very often it will need a fresh planning permission. The principal concern being retaining the character of the original building.
There is a big paradox in the planners' views about existing buildings. They want you to retain as many, if not all, the originality of that building. But that is balanced between the fact that actually, if it wasn't for people like ourselves, this building would be no more. It was pretty close to falling down. We didn't know how close it was to falling down until we actually started rebuilding it.
And we've saved the building, haven't we?
Yeah.
To add to their troubles, 3 weeks later, thieves break in, and this has highlighted a major problem. The building is in an isolated rural position. As they live more than an hour's drive away, this means the engine house is left alone for long periods of time.
Someone's got into the house and has cut all the electrical wires. We feel really cross about it, don't we?
Yeah, it's been
it's
a very
really
bad
annoying. Because you put a lot of effort into all this work, and then it's kind of undone in one evening.
Unbelievably, 4 weeks later it happens again. With their property unsecure, the build running behind schedule, planning permission still not granted, and the finances beginning to run out, Tim and Emma have reached a crisis point.
We are getting quite close up to where the builders want to be, and therefore we're actually saying to them, stop for a bit, reducing their workforce by 50%.
With almost everything going against them, our two restoration warriors have got a vital decision to make. Should they move in and finish the work themselves? Tim and Emma Verdon bought this derelict 19th century building with 6 acres of land in Oxfordshire for £365,000. The building was once the engine house of a brickmaking works and has been derelict for nearly 100 years. As it's not a listed building, it doesn't have strict planning regulations. But ever since they started work on it, they've been tangled up in the frustrating process of getting their designs accepted by the local planning department.
So the last time that I came to see Tim and Emma, it was unbelievably frustrating. They hadn't got their planning application submitted. They hadn't really ticked all the boxes that you need to do to be able to move forward on a build, but they were still pushing as quickly as possible on site. And the danger there is that you catch yourself out. You stumble over yourself because the build is moving faster than the bureaucratic process. And if you do that, you're asking for trouble. So hopefully today they've got things back on track.
Morning.
The tiles are on.
Yeah.
Don't have to admit. You must have planning.
They
Have you got planning?
Yes, we have, yeah.
Thank God for that.
I know.
That's brilliant.
It took a bit of time, but we got there in the end.
Planning just for the tiles or for everything?
No.
Just for the tiles. Just the tiles?
Yeah.
Well, that's a start. And
So-
you've got the Velux skylights in, and you've got solar panels on the roof as well. Have you got planning for those?
It's a bit of a grey area, really. It's sort of
Planning's
not
never
a no.
grey. Planning's never grey. It's either yes or no. That's the planning system. That sounds like you haven't for all of it.
Not quite.
We've asked and they know about it, but we haven't been given it yet.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think it's all brilliant. It's moral, it's good, it's eco, it's sustainable. I think it looks fine. But when you haven't got planning, it's a big risk because they can make you take them down.
The solar panels are only part of the problem. 2 months ago, when Tim and Emma met with planning officer Mike Gilbert, he stressed that for him to accept the changes they'd made, they had to resubmit a full new application.
Because you are moving the extension and making other alterations, it will need a fresh planning permission. So you will need to submit a fresh application.
Eventually, they did send in a new set of plans, but there's another issue.
We followed the advice of the planning officer that came to see us on site, did exactly what he said on the drawing and put that in, but they won't accept the application.
We had a letter last week, didn't we? So it's taken them a month to reply and tell us that they're not happy with our application, that we've ticked the wrong box on something.
Despite not having planning, Tim and Emma have made another drastic decision.
We probably intend to move in within 2 or 3 weeks, don't we? Or so.
2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks?
We've done a lot of
How are you going to move in 2 to 3? I haven't seen the inside, but bloody hell, it would be one of the fastest builds I've ever seen if it's ready to move in 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, it will be slightly camping, but, you know, we'll be all right. I've started painting.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, I want to have a look. I've got to see what this is like inside. 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. But you're going to be absolutely roughing it. I mean, when you say move in, are you talking about getting rid of the rental place you're in now?
Yeah.
Move all your gear,
Yeah.
move all your stuff in.
Yeah.
You are going to move into this house. And if you got hot water, is that all
Not
up
hot
and
water.
running?
No hot water yet. But I might be heating hot water on the stove.
There's going to be a finish about there.
This all needs going?
Yep.
This is bathroom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, where do you see even this first floor being in 3 weeks, if that's when you're going to move in? What state is it going to be in, seriously?
Well, I think we'll do as best we can, but we are going to be slightly camping.
This genuinely is bonkers. I commend them for wanting to move in and to push the build forward and get it done as quickly as possible, but if you move in too quickly, it's unbelievably disruptive. The builders can't crack on properly, they're always worried about the client being on site, and it's really uncomfortable for them and their kids at the same time. And like the planning, it's one of those things that could just quite easily trip them up, cost them more time and more money.
But restoration is not just about bricks and mortar, it's also about understanding how history shapes a building.
Uffington Brickworks, which was built in the 1840s to serve only the Craven estate, soon began supplying bricks to other builders because of the huge expansion of building that happened throughout Oxfordshire in the 19th century. As this clamour for bricks grew, small brickyards like Uffington became small businesses with tenant brickmakers, employing workers to churn out thousands of handmade bricks a week. To help me find out what life was like in a brickyard like Tim and Emma's, I've come to a traditional brickmakers in Suffolk. My research tells me that brickmaking was a closed community, and like today's corner shop, to make the businesses work, families often employed their children to do the menial jobs. To help me understand what it was really like for those children, I've come to meet Oxford University historian Professor Jane Humphreys. What would life have been like for children working in something like this in the 1800s?
In the 1851 census, brickmaking was a top 20 job for boys, and something like maybe between 20 and 30,000 children were employed on the brickyards.
And what would life have actually been like on a day-to-day for them?
Well, it's a very hard job. Yeah, I mean, just look at this material. I mean, just look at it. Ugh. Can you imagine putting 25 pounds worth of this on your head and then carrying a big lump equally heavy in your arms?
So, Jim, what roles would these kids have had at what age in the brickworks?
Well, if you look here, you can see the labour process and you can see what roles children would have had, because this chap is doing the role of the grown-up here. And then these wet bricks, ooh, yes, you've got to...
They're heavy.
Younger children would be carrying those.
Wet clay formed into that shape,
yeah.
Very dense. What sort of
maybe
age would the kids
9 pounds, maybe weight.
And the kids would be how old?
Maybe 8, 9. We've got children as young as 5 recorded working.
What sort of hours would those kids have been doing each day?
Oh, dawn to dusk, 6 to 6, because they're working with the grown-ups, so they would have to have worked the same hours as the grown-ups.
So is there any evidence of kids working at Uffington?
Well, we've actually looked at the mid-Victorian censuses for Uffington, and there is evidence of child workers in your brickyard there.
God, I find that quite tragic, actually, thinking that actually they would have been working so hard here and having to stack so many bricks out there.
Well, George, it's recorded in black and white.
So this is on the kilns, which is
and
incredible, actually.
Another job for children would have been staying up all night to make sure the fires stayed on.
So the kids would have to do, like, all-nighters, basically, lifting the coal into place.
Well, I
and keeping the
think
fires
all-nighters just to make sure things stayed OK.
Even though this place really gives you an idea of what the processes were like, it doesn't really give you an idea of the conditions, does it?
No, I think it's a much sanitised and cleaned up version of your small-scale Uffington.
And who would have employed these kids?
Very often the children were employed by their own parents or by other grown-ups to help them, so that you couldn't then prosecute the master brickmaker, because he would simply say, oh, well, it's the parents who bring them to work, I just employ the parents.
That's quite crafty, isn't it?
And you can see it reflected in the third world today, where, you know, in China and in India, children are a very significant presence on building sites, for example.
And none of that's regulated either, is it?
No, and brickmaking is a big job for children in the third world.
So 140 years later, what was happening in Britain could now be happening all through India and China.
Indeed.
So it would seem that the brutal process of industrialisation in the developing world continues to exploit children. Having decided to move into the engine house, Tim has made another cost-cutting decision.
Well, I think the most important thing to let you know is I've given up work.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
To work on here.
I hate to be Mr. Practical, but what about loss of income?
Actually, going through the figures, it's cheaper for me to be one of the labourers and to take out the costs of the builder's profit.
So you're offsetting your income in your job, which you've lost,
yeah,
against the money that you could potentially save on the build by doing more yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've moved the children, so they've started new school beginning of January, and they're very, very happy.
You've taken a leap, really, haven't you?
Which is why we need to move here now. So, you know, and then all the jigsaw puzzle will all fit together, won't it? And we just keep working on the house during the week.
Work has now cranked up a notch. The builders are racing against the clock to get the basics ready for the family to move in. But to give Tim and Emma a break from the build, I've taken the family to a traditional brickmaking workshop at the Blists Hill Museum in the Iron Bridge Gorge. I want them to meet master brickmaker Tony Mugridge to see if he can help in their search for the missing eyebrow bricks which are needed above their windows.
Okay guys, come on in. Meet Tony. Tony, this is the Verdon family. An invasion of them today.
Hello.
We've actually got this little piece of brick here. This little brick eyebrow, which we've really struggled to find from any reclamation yard. And we were hoping that would help us make them.
Yeah,
is that possible?
Yeah, there's no trouble at all. You can even match the colour. Won't be
Really?
trouble at all.
We just love to be able to have them reproduced.
It's what they call a bullnose brick,
Mhm.
and what they've done is hand carved it to this shape.
Mm.
You can see here it's very dark, and this is where it's caught the weather.
Mm.
So when I make these bricks, they will be that colour.
Mhm.
But all you do is just wash them down. Do you know this? You wash them down with sour milk, and they will age. They will age in about 3 weeks. Most buildings to do with brickworks are an advert of the works. They'd have all their latest product. Everything, if they made different colour bricks would be in it. And so it looked really gorgeous when it was first built.
Fantastic.
I like to see old bricks like this because it tells the brick will tell you everything about how it was made.
I think what's so fascinating is that you can just have this one brick, this one material, and the more you look at it and the more you analyse, the more it tells the story of the history of this building.
That's just it. If you were actually employed by me, which was illegal, okay, but if you were, I'd only show you once, and after that, you'd have to make them right. And if you didn't make them right, I'd dock it off your money. So you get less money. Not that I'd be paying you, I'd be paying your parents.
Look at that.
Yeah,
You've
that's
made
all
a
right.
brick for your house. How cool is that?
Very exciting, and it's a really good feel, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's a
it's
really good
fantastic.
feel.
It's lovely to think that we're putting a bit of our efforts into it and to keep it going for many hundreds of years, hopefully, to come.
True to their word, 8 months after they began their restoration project, Tim and Emma have moved into the engine house and started working on it themselves. So I'm curious to see how they're coping with living as a family on a building site.
Look at the furniture arrangement. You can't live like that.
That's just really nice having our own stuff here.
And you've started laying a few of the bricks in here?
Yeah, and then we stopped.
And then stopped. Why?
Well, because if we'd laid the floor, then we wouldn't have been able to walk on it for 2 days.
You do realise it's a builder's nightmare. When the client moves in on site, it is a builder's nightmare. And what's wrong here then? Well, hello, Emma. What's this? A little
It's our
makeshift...
our makeshift kitchen.
First floor kitchen.
Well, it's because all the sockets work up here, so we really, it's a lot easier if we've got the fridge and kettle and toaster and microwave, and we've got no hot water.
Right.
And we've been living here for a month now, haven't we, without
Yeah.
any hot water? So
That's
that's quite testing at times, but it's not too bad. We've only had 4 nights without a bath since we've been here, so we've done quite well. We've just boiled water up on the stove downstairs and brought it up in saucepans.
Upstairs, like cauldrons of...
And then we all literally,
How many
one
times do you have to
jumps
go
in the bath
upstairs?
and the next one jumps in the bath, and so we share water. So by the time I get in, after everybody else has been in, it's a bit brown, a bit murky, the water.
I say black.
But it's...
You've got everything all across the windowsill. You've got your pirate ships.
Were you happy when
Yes.
things came out of storage?
So happy I cried.
Oh, Jude, did you really? What an incredible family. Unbelievable. They just crack on. No matter what's thrown at them, they just get on with it. And when they moved into that building, I thought they were mad. And in some respects, they are a bit mad, but it was the right move. They're in there, the kids have got a greater sense of space, the kids have got their toys and their personal belongings back.
But if they don't get that planning permission through, it could all start to unravel very quickly. After 8 months of building, Tim and Emma Verdon, along with their 3 children, 4 horses and a dog, have moved into their 19th century brickworks engine house. But it's not that easy. The builders are still on site and they're having to live out of a couple of bedrooms.
We've been living here for a month now, haven't we, without
Yeah.
any hot water?
And Tim has given up his job to help.
It's cheaper for me to be one of the labourers and to take out the cost of the builder's profit.
But they still don't have planning permission, and if that doesn't happen, the solar panels will have to be taken off the roof and most of their work will have gone to waste.
It's amazing the hoops that you have to jump through to please the planners and try and get it right, really.
Today's a red letter day for the family. It's eldest daughter Lucy's 10th birthday and the first family celebration they'll have in their new house. But when Emma goes to collect the eagerly awaited post, she finds something extra among the cards.
Wow, that's good.
Shall we open it? Yeah. Gosh, we've been waiting a long time for this. I hope it's good news.
Thick.
Okay, please find and close planning permission relating to the above development. And
To include...
hang on, the extension of the former engine house to former dwelling, to include the relocation of approved extension to north end of south elevation, erection of porch and solar panels. That's really good, isn't it?
The ramifications of what would have happened if they had not got the planning permission dawns on them.
We would have had to have altered upstairs, so because the stairs would have been in the wrong place.
And rooms were in the wrong place.
All the rooms would have been in the wrong place. Can you imagine having to sort of tear all that down and then restart again?
Fired with the renewed energy, Tim and Emma, with the help of Edward, are now going at full speed to get their home finished.
What excites me about restoration, even for a small shell of a building like this, is unravelling its history. And I think now, after visiting the Brickyard in Suffolk and the Ironworks Museum, I think I can at least show what Tim and Emma's brickyard would have looked like in the 19th century. So the clay pit is over here. Kids would have been lifting that clay out of the ground, carrying it by hand, over to a kind of conveyor belt, if you like. And that kind of rickety deck that I stood on, that wobbled on my first ever visit, is the area where the clay would have been fed into a kind of mixing device that would have been powered by a very powerful traction engine. From there, once that clay was in the right consistency, it would have gone over to the brick-making desks and put into moulds, each individual brick made by hand. Then taken outside, dried for a period of time, then into the kilns to be baked. Once they were absolutely finished and ready, they'd be then delivered to site by two means. One, the railway, two, the canal. Sadly, after World War I, small brickworks like Uffington, unable to compete with mass-produced bricks, ended. But thankfully, so did child labour, as social reform and legislation brought in 1933 made it illegal to employ children under the age of 13. However, its legacy lives on. If you look anywhere within a 20-mile radius, there are dozens of red brick buildings and houses, many made from Uffington clay. Just over a year ago, Tim and Emma Verdon began work to turn their derelict engine house into a dream home. Today, I've come to see what they've achieved. I'm always intrigued on these final days whether the project is actually finished. As you can see, there's a little bit of landscaping to be done. The garage and carport isn't finished. And it looks to me like there might not be a house extension. Morning, how are you? So good to see you. Been a while. Oh, look, you're looking all very smart, mister. Hello, you. It's like an army today.
Hi,
Hello,
George. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Hi, George. Good to see you.
Are you done in there? Is it finished?
Yes.
Come on, let's go in. Do you mind if I have a look?
Come on in.
Can I take my coat off? Is it warm enough? You've got heating and everything?
Got the fire on?
Yeah, fire's on.
The first area I want to see is the kitchen diner. Last year, it looked like this. Today, it's stunning.
Wow, look at that. It's fantastic. I love the kitchen. Marble's beautiful.
Yeah,
look at that.
Marbles.
They've got the same marble at Harrods.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You've gone very posh, have you?
The deli counter.
Super posh. And what I'm really pleased is that when we redesigned the space, we made it all one room. You've got a view out the front the side, back to the entrance and the back. Such hard slog to get to this stage. It's incredible, really.
But it has been very rewarding, and I think we have such a tingling feeling when we get up in the morning and certainly come downstairs and then come into here.
It's lovely. And this table was my grandmother's, so I remember sitting around this table when I was little.
What do you think of it, kids?
It's amazing.
Before work began, the front door opened onto nothing but weeds. Today, that nothing has been transformed into an elegant hallway.
This looks great. These were reclaimed bricks, yeah? Did you clean these up?
Yeah.
Good work.
They all came out of the building.
I mean, these are literally part of the landscape. They've come out of the clay pit, they've been made here, produced here, shaped here, and then you've reused them.
And what was once just the end of an empty shell is now the family living room.
Whoa, look at this. It's lovely, isn't it? Oh, now that is one snug, warm living room, isn't it?
Do you like our reclaimed beam? This is one of the beams that you were leaping about on.
Thankfully, I didn't break it. Because it looks brilliant. You've just reused bricks and timber very nicely in parts of the home, just so it reflects its history. Do you want to see your bedrooms?
Yes.
Come on, let's go and see your rooms. I'm dying to see them.
This building was once open to the skies. But now Tim and Emma have taken on board my ideas and have created 3 children's bedrooms down the end of the corridor. The children also have a bathroom and shower just for themselves. At the other end of the house is Tim and Emma's master bedroom, complete with a smart ensuite bathroom. Inside, the house is almost finished, but outside it's work in progress. The garage, which will have space for 2 cars, a kitchen area and upstairs office, should be ready in a couple of months. But Tim and Emma have not yet started on the house extension. Estimated to cost £20,000, they hope to start work early next year. However, one small restoration project which I've been really interested in has been completed. Those missing eyebrow bricks that took so long to research and find are now finally back in place where they belong. Tim and Emma are not quite ready to say their restoration project is finished, but they have turned the engine house into the family home of their dreams. As I've travelled with them on their journey, I want them to know about this building's extraordinary past, and as custodians of the building, they can keep that history alive for future generations.
Well, I've got a little present for you. The old engine house book. There's a picture of what it used to be like.
Oh my word. Oh my God. Look at that.
And then, the very beginning. Who are these cheeky kids standing everywhere?
Oh, those are brilliant.
Are they tight shut?
And to bring to life how their brickyard looked in the 19th century, I've got them a very special gift.
Oh, wow. Look
And it's
at
basically
that.
what it used to be like.
Oh my word. Look at that. Oh, look.
Hey! All over the stone floor.
It's been sealed.
Thank God it's been sealed, otherwise I would have been in big trouble.
Oh, look at that.
Cheers, everyone. Here's to a fantastic build and an amazing family project. You did it. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, George.
When I first came here, there was nothing more than 4 very abandoned and ruinous brick walls. But actually what we've uncovered is a site of huge and fascinating industrial heritage. It really has a rich social story behind it. And Tim and Emma have saved this building. They've battled against planning, against huge financial pressure, and they've even had to learn to build at the same time to realise their dream home. What I love about this building is its modesty. It's not grand, but it's been beautiful.